All right, family. Right now, I'm about to get into some real life stuff. It's probably one of the most important sessions I'm gonna ever do on this channel. And this is just showing y'all, Lord been, like I said, the past 6-7 years just been landing on me heavy. That these things that people see as myth, these things that people see as false, these things people write off like the Bible, is actually true. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. All praises to the Most High. I used to work at Macy's. Ladies' Shoes, and I worked on commission. So I'm very much in tune with. I didn't see it as much as now looking back, but I mean, I used to be able to read people, man. I used to be able to read people so good to the point where somebody could walk into the store. I would know if they were just looking. I could know if they were coming there to buy something. I could know if they were mad, if they were, I could just see it. You know what I'm saying? I could just look at them and see it. And I mean, it was, I had a database full of people. I mean, it wasn't lucrative at all. I ain't telling you that. I had to hustle hard, and you know, at the time, like I said, I was trying to put myself through school, and you know, I was hustling back then too. I wasn't hustling at work now, but I was hustling, and you know, not nothing, no, you know. Well, I mean, I hustled everything. I'm not even gonna sit up here and play the same. I mean, at that time specifically, it wasn't, you know, everything. It was mostly just, you know, marijuana, but. In days past, I mean, it was, I was 19 years old. I had 2 traps. I had, if you know about Richmond, I had an apartment on Richmond at 19, and I had an apartment in 3rd Ward, and I used to go back and forth. I ain't had no car neither, but I was going through school the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I was just hustling. You know, I was living fleshly. That's just, you know, I was trying to be as righteous in my eyes as I seemed, but I knew that, you know, I had to come up out of that, you know, and all praise to the Most High. He got me up out of that because I didn't really see no other way to make ends meet. You know, I didn't want something I wanted to do. I was real low key. I mean, you got a 19-year-old dude with 2 apartments, man. I ain't had all them girls. No, I was basically about my grind. But lo and behold, I'm at Macy's one day, and one of my favorite shoes to sell was Coach. I love to sell Coach. You know what I'm saying? And I was in there one day, and this woman walked up to me. There was 3 of them. It was like one was kind of heavy set, kind of short. One was just kind of medium build, and one was kind of young. You know, kind of. You know, they were all, you know, pretty fair looking girls. You know, and they walked up on me, and I'm gonna let you know, when I worked at the Macy's, it was the one in you know, in Houston we had the Galleria and we had Memorial. Now, Memorials is like a little Galleria. Basically, if I know a lot of y'all get viewers from everywhere, so I'm just letting y'all know, the Galleria in Houston is like, it's the mecca of races. And I don't mean races like racism. I mean races like nations. You might run into somebody. I mean, you might just walk through the mall. You hear somebody speaking French. You hear somebody speaking Italian. You hear somebody speaking German. You hear somebody speaking Spanish. Somebody speaking Portuguese. You'll just hear, you know, African dialects. I mean, all across the board. I mean, I met people from islands. I met people from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in there. You know, some Middle Eastern kind of ladies came up on me. They were Iraqi or Pakistan. But I didn't, you know, it don't matter to me. But I would just, just know, like I like that. I like the differences. You know, that, you know, we can see, okay, because I learned stuff. I learned a lot from talking to those people about how it is in their countries and this and that. So don't look at it as, oh, I'm not going over there. I talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I was trying to make ends meet. As long as you were a good person or a righteous person, I can deal with you. But the lady walked up on me. And she was like, yeah, you know, I'm a psychic. And I looked at her and I just kind of laughed, because at the time, I ain't really believe in that stuff. I ain't really believe in psychics as far as that. I thought they kind of more or less guess and check, you know. Somebody died with the M and they be like, oh, Mary, and yeah, Mary, or Martha, yeah, and go off of that, you know. And I was just like, I didn't really believe in it. You understand what I'm saying? So I started laughing, and when I started laughing, I offended her. All three of them got offended, but the big, you know, the heavyset one, that's the oldest one that was talking to me. She was like really offended. And she was like, really, I'm from so-and-so, and I'm from New York, and I'm from New York, and this. And she wasn't yelling, but she was, you know, and I was like, oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, you know, offend you or anything. I'm just, you know, and mind you now, I'm working in Macy's, so you see how I look now. I got the T on, tat. I had these arm tats at that time. I don't even think I had the beard. I was, you know, real young looking. How old was I? I was probably about 23 maybe, about 23, 20, yeah, about 20, 22, 23, and she was like, you know, I had braids too, I had cornrows all the way back, and she was like, you know, yeah, I'm from New York, and I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, you know, I got my tie on, I got my suit, you know, I had on, I mean, pretty clean cut, you know, no beard, you know, and she was like, I can do your reader. And I just kind of, you know, I gave another side look, but this time I wasn't just, you know, laughing at it like I did the first time. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know, and I'm like, you know, like, okay. I ain't believe it. And her daughter looked at me. I guess I call her daughter, I don't know if it was her niece, but she looked at me. And I will never forget, she looked at me, her eyes, when her eyes looked into my eyes, it was as if, you know how you hold a camera and you flash it? Like, I'm like, hey, pose, not, and you see that little flash? Her eyes flash. I don't care if y'all don't believe this either, because like I said, this is something that's supernatural, you understand? But her eyes flashed at me. And when it happened, I guess she must have seen it. I did just like that. And I'm looking around, so I'm thinking maybe somebody in here taking a picture. Because, you know, like I said, you got racists and people from all over. They're like, hey, you know, they may take a picture. People do that I can't say I've seen it too often. Maybe like once or twice since I've been there. Maybe once. But I couldn't look away. It's like I was like, so I'm looking at her like, what did you do? How'd you do that? Kind of like on Men in Black, when the dude blinked at Will Smith and he blinked the eyes this way, then he blinked the eyes this way. And Fresh Prince, well, I call him Fresh Prince, who I know him from, was telling the lawman or whatever when they was questioning him, like, yeah, he blinked 2 sets of eyes. And yeah, but her eyes, and she looked at me, she just kept staring at me. And you know, I ain't really know how to take it. You know, like I said, at any other point, I probably thought she was trying to holler, but she was so young. I'm one of them cats. At the point I was 22, if you wasn't able to go to the liquor store and get me something to drink, then you was too young for me. She looked like she might have been 17, 18, like she probably just kissed 18. She wasn't even, she looked like she was probably about 16 or 17. And she looked at me and she kind of leaned her head back and she went like this. She was like, you're a singer, you sing. And I make music, and I'm like, I looked down, I'm like, all right, that's a lucky guess. A lot of people do music, a lot of independent artists, you know, but I mean, she could have said anything, though. I mean, of all the things I do, you know what I'm saying? I do, but all the things that people do, I mean, that's strange she says that. So, anyway, I started to help them, and I helped them find some Coach shoes. They were on the clearance rack at first when they were shopping, then they went and said, oh, they seen the Coach display, we keep it in the front. So when they seen the Coach shoes, you know, they got the Coach shoes, and you know, the lady was just so happy because I was able to find her size and find this and find that for her, and she was just like, oh, thank you, you know, and this and that, and they were just real nice to me, you know, they were just being real nice, and they were just staring at me. They were just, it's like they was reading me, you know what I'm saying? And lady was like, once she left, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna come back. And I had a database in my phone, like I have a phone right here, full of customers. So I was like, cool, I'll take your information down, you know, so next time you come in, I'll be able to help you. That was nothing new. But she was like, okay, I'm gonna do something for you. And I was like, all right, cool. What you know? She's like, I'm gonna read your future. She's like, I'm gonna read your future. I'm gonna give you a fortune. You know, I'm gonna read your fortune. And I was just like, all right, I'm telling you, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I knew about the Lord, but I didn't know about Deuteronomy. I didn't know about the tattoos. I didn't know about those things like I know now. That's why I don't deal with horoscopes no more. That's why I ain't getting no more tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I have these now. I'm not showing them off to brag to y'all. I'm showing them to show you parts of my life. I'm giving you my testimony. So if you're on here judging me, man, go ahead. Peasy got a song out called Super Brews. Be a super brew. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the Christian church, when I really was down and on my luck, nobody in the Christian church reached out and was like, brother, I see you going through this. I see your family going through A, B, and C. Man, let's just pray, man. I'm good with you, man. Let's just sit here and pray and try to get good with the Lord. I'm not here to da-da-da. Nobody did that. Okay, so I don't care for your judgments. I'm out of that. But that's what I did. I got to give you my testimony because people come at me telling me, oh, you got to try this, you got to try this, you got to try this. It's the reason why I have my faith in the Lord. Some of the stuff a lot of stuff y'all tell me to try and look into, I've already been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? So talk to me first before you try to point me somewhere, okay? Because I'm not trying to point you anywhere. I'm giving you information and giving you my testimony. Because if I don't give you my testimony, you'll just think, oh, well, this is just, okay, maybe the Lord did talk to you or you felt like the Lord talked. No, it happened in my life in real time. So I'm trying to explain to y'all, my faith is a rock. I will die for my faith. I will die for this. There's a lot of brothers and sisters, especially brothers that ain't in the faith, that's in different faiths, not including Christianity. They was telling me when I was giving this information out before I started making these videos, and I used to be in the streets talking about this stuff. Oh man, you better chill out, man. And man, them boys gonna get you, man. That's too much. Too much what? Too much truth? Is it too much truth? And if you know it's the truth, why don't you follow this faith? If you know I'm telling the truth, what makes you so scared? Why are you following these other religions and being an atheist and this and that, and you know I'm telling is the truth? I'd rather die for the truth than die at some Black Friday sale, get trampled to death, or die here in these streets, you know what I'm saying, for crossing the street or something and get hit by a car. I'd rather die for this, man. And I love y'all. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. I love y'all. Each one of y'all watching this, man, I love y'all sincerely, man. For real. Even if you made it this far in the video, I love you. For real. Even if you watched the first 3 minutes. Enemies and all. But, yeah, so back to the story. The lady, she said, call me, I'm gonna give you a fortune. I didn't believe in it. I never got my palm read. I did read astrology, and I did do horoscopes back then. Actually, on a daily basis. When I was going to class, I would get on a computer and I'd check my horoscope. Not to lead my life, but just to see, like, oh, is this true? Is this gonna happen today? Okay, I'll keep my eyes open if that happens. Shouldn't have been doing that. I know that now, but that's what I was doing. So I was like, all right, you know, let's see what she got to offer. So I called her up, and I'm just thinking, man, this is silly. You know, I want to keep in touch with her. You know, she's gonna come back and buy this and that, and you know, she seemed nice. And she was like, you know, and Lord forbid, don't none of y'all do this, okay? I'm not telling you this so you can go do it. Okay? Like for real, I don't need that on my conscience, on my hand. I release it now. I'm telling you this as a testimony not to do it. It's like an ex-bank robber who's robbed. If he's an ex, that means he's not doing no more. Okay, I'm not doing this no more. It's the only time I ever did it. But that lifestyle, I'm out of there. I'm a new creature in Christ. But she's like, give me your name and your birthday. So I kind of said it, and I kind of said it like, you know, you know. She was like, no, you got to say it, you know, so I can, this are words, feed off the energy of your words. Notice God spoke the universe into existence. It's energy and words, man. I had a dude that did 20 plus years in the pen tell me words can get you in more blank than anything. That's the truth. The Bible says a fool's lips invite a beating. So I said it again. I said a little bit more confident, you know, say it with your chest, you know. And when I said it, you know, it kind of got quiet. She was like, okay. And it's weird. The whole time me and her was talking back and forth. I'm not lying to you. It felt like a third party was in the room. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear who it was or what it was, but it's like whispering. But it's so faint. It's like I went to listen, I couldn't hear. But if I was just like, oh, maybe that's nothing, I get it. I listened, I couldn't hear. But before she answered the question, I heard her consulting something, and it wasn't her speaking. It was something else in the room. I don't know where she was or whatever, but I heard something. And it wasn't like how you talk to somebody on the phone, you hear somebody talking over there. Nah, it sounded like somebody was sitting right next to her, whispering in her ear, whispering loudly though, where I can peep some of it in the phone. And she asked me a few questions and this and that, and I was kind of, then like I said, I was hustling, so I was kind of thinking, man, she a law? I don't want to give her too much information. She's supposed to be telling me stuff, so I don't want to. She started asking me some questions about certain things, and she said, you've been betrayed. You've been betrayed by blah blah blah. And she broke down how I had been betrayed by these people in my life, and just recently I had gotten betrayed, you know, by an ex and by a friend. You know what I'm saying? They weren't. It wasn't together. It wasn't. The ex did something, and a friend got me locked up. You know what I'm saying? But the way she broke it down, I mean, she broke down phone conversations I had with him, and I'm just like, okay, she got that. Okay, she got that. And she just kept breaking it down and breaking down other things. I'm like, man, that's true. I'm like, man, okay. It got to the point where I couldn't deny it. And by the end of the conversation, we got off the phone, and it was important. She said, well, this is what I see for your future. She's like, you're going to be a great man, and you're going to be rich, and you're going to have this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't really materialistic then, and I'm definitely not now, but I was just like, okay, that's okay. Well, she told me everything else was true, but I don't know about that. But you know, I was still moved by all that what she knew about my life. So basically, I got off the phone with her. When I got off the phone with her, I had a feeling. It was a weird feeling, man. It was just like emotion, man. It was like emotion, man. I can't explain it. I'm not no emotional dude, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no cry, I ain't no weeper. You know, I ain't just hard as stone, don't get me wrong, but I ain't one of them boo-hoo, you know, cry the movie dudes. That's not me at all. I don't cry at movies. I don't, you know, even breakups, this and I wasn't that type of cat. So I just felt emotional, man. Like, it's like I feel like I owe this woman, like, man, she really can. And that was it, you know what I'm saying? That was it. I think I called her again. She wanted to know when some shoes were going on sale. And I had called her again, and she didn't, she picked up the phone and she answered, but she didn't come back in. Which I think that was the Lord too, keeping her away from me, for real. She didn't come back in, so I just went on about my, you know, about my life, about my day. At that time, I had an apartment by myself. I was living behind the mall. For those of y'all in Houston, y'all can look it up, Sharpstown Mall. Y'all know what it is. I was staying over there, and one night, I won't ever forget it. I was sleep. I can't remember what time, what day it was, but it was in the middle of the night. I'm sleeping in my bed, and I'm sleeping good, and I hear voices. Not like that. It sounded like the TV was on. Like, sound like I had the TV on in the living room, so I'm sleeping. I hear talk, you know, like sound like a Jimmy Kimmel Live, or maybe like a Jon Stewart or something. Or, I ain't have cable, but that's what it sounded like an interview. So I'm like, man, what is that? So I get up, I go into the living room, and this is how tired I was. I was so tired, I just pressed the power button, and I went back in my room, and I laid down, tried to go back to sleep. Now this time, it sounded like I got 2 TVs on. I'm like, man, didn't I just turn that TV off? So I, you know, at this time I get, now I'm up because I'm a little angry. So I get up, I walk in the room, and the TV's on. I'm like, I just turned it off. So I was like, I must have turned it on. So I just came and pressed the power, but I didn't even, like, I'm just so I turned it off. And when I turned it off, I still heard the other TV. So I'm like, I had 2 TVs. I had one in the living room, one in the bedroom. So I go in the bedroom. Of course, that one was off. I said, well, maybe I left the radio on because I did my music. My radio was right there. Looked at the radio was off. So at this point, it's like I start to kind of freak. Cause I'm starting to, okay, let me listen to what these voices saying. Where is this coming from? So I get to listening, and I mean, all truth be told, it was like I heard the voices cleared, and it was like, oh, he knows, he's up, he knows. And they just started arguing. I couldn't really understand what they were arguing about. They're like, dude, they were yelling at each other, and at that point, I just started walking back and forth through the house like, man, I'm tripping. I just need to wake up. I need to wake up. I'm tripping. I just need to wake up. I sat on the couch. I just started tripping. I just, you know, I just laid down, just tried to, you know, pray, I think. And I mean, I was just trying to think, and I was kind of losing it. Like, that never, ever happened to me before. You know what I'm saying? And it was like these voices, it sounded like it was like a room full of people arguing in my head. And, I mean, even looking back, thinking on it now, I mean, it's just as real as it happened yesterday, man. It was just weird, and whenever it was over with, I was just kind of like, oh man, okay, that was kind of weird. And even after that, you know, the Lord had spoke to me. Now, this is the real Lord spoke to me, and He was like, everything that woman said that's gonna happen to you, I'm gonna do it in my name. I'm gonna show you I am Lord. I'm gonna do it. And I was just like, okay, Lord, I know you run everything. I know you run everything. So after that, I didn't deal with the psychics no more. That, you know, that was my only time I didn't deal with that. I got away from the horoscopes, all of that. And I started to look up. The horoscope is actually part of astrology, part of the divination, that 6-pointed star, which turns into a 12-pointed star once you draw the lines around it. And that's the astrology signs. It's all from the Moloch, from the Kiyum, from the Sikuth, those demons I brought up to you earlier. That's where all this comes from. Like I said, before a telescope, they knew about all this stuff. But yeah, that's what happened, man. And just recently, you know, maybe about a year ago, I was sleeping. I had a futon. I was sleeping. I was on the computer. I think I was watching TV or something. And I just fell asleep, and you know, I just laid down. And I was living by myself at the time, and well, no, I was about maybe about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I was I heard something. You ever hear like your house door, your front door open and close? And it's like I can, even though my back was to where the door was, I can hear. I heard it open, I heard it close, and and, you know, the wind. I heard all that, and I heard footsteps. Cause like I said, I'm in my house by myself, and I just heard the, you know, the footsteps. And it's funny because the footsteps were long. It wasn't like, it was like you know, like it was like, and each step it was covering like 8 to 10 feet. Because from my front door to my room, it was there in like 5, 6 steps. What steps like that? And I felt it. And I swear, if I had a roommate, I would have thought it was him. But I don't have no roommate. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't move. And I was just sitting there, I was just stuck, and I couldn't move. And I called out the Yeshua, you know, Yeshaya. I was like, Shia. And as soon as I did, I could break, and I looked, and nothing was there, but I could feel it. I could feel it. It was like looking on my back, on the back of my neck. I could feel it. I could almost feel his breath. And I even looked up and looked around, and nothing was there, you know. And that's the last time that ever happened. It hasn't, you know, only happened one time other than that in a dream, and it never happened again. But I'm getting to some more of the supernatural in my life, things that have happened. But I called my girl when that happened. I called and I was like, baby, that really, and she didn't know what to say. And I'm like, you know, I ain't crazy, you know, I ain't tripping, but I'm sitting here laying down, and then this happens. What is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't move. Like, I was frozen. And I was about to, and you know, I thought somebody came to my house. I'm ready to get up and regulate, go Hulk Hogan, but I couldn't move. But that's why the words say we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against evil principalities in high places. There was nothing I can do to fight that. When I heard them voices, there's nothing I can do to fight that. When I felt that on my back, there's nothing I can do to fight that but call on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And we can bring that into scripture too. Acts chapter 8, 9, and 1. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in that same city used sorcery, and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out himself that he was some great one, to whom they all gave heed, from the least to the greatest, saying, This man is the great power of God. And to him they had regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. You know, he had seen miracles. Down to verse 19, when he seen the disciples heal people from sickness and diseases and things of that nature in Christ's name, and by the Holy Spirit, in verse 19 he says, saying, Give me also this power, that whomsoever I lay hands. Remember the pastors laying hands, and a couple of them said pastors and blocked me. They know I'm telling the truth. That whomever so I lay hands, he may receive the Holy Ghost. But Peter said unto him, Thy money perish with thee, because thou hast thought that the gift of God may be purchased with money. Thou hast neither part nor lot in this matter. You got no part and lot in here. For thy heart is not right in the sight of God. Repent therefore of this wickedness, and pray God if perhaps the thought of thine heart may be forgiven thee. So he told him to repent. You can't buy this. That's why these pastors, you can't sit here and sell the things of the Lord. Even if you look at the prophets like Elijah, it was in 2 Kings when he healed somebody, and it was a Gentile actually, and the guy tried to pay him. In the book of 2 Kings, when Elijah healed somebody, God tried to pay him, and he had some money back then. You know, that was money. He had this and that, and Elijah was like, no, just go on your way. You know, you're okay. But, you know, I guess, you know, thanks, but no thanks. Go on your way. And Elijah's servant was like, I guess when the guy left, Elijah's servant was like, shoot, I'm going to go get me some. So he went and ran and met up with the man. And Elijah had cured him, you know, through the power of God and the Holy Spirit. He had cured him of leprosy. So the servant ran behind him and was like, hey, well, you can give me something. So he took some shekels and some clothes from him. When Elijah heard of this, he said, well, everything I healed him of, it now falls on you. You can't buy the things of God. That's why everything on this channel I'm giving you is just straight free. If I find any free books or whatever, this and that, I'm going to have a site soon where I'm going to have links for that, you know. And there's a lot online. I encourage y'all to go look too, because you got to go look. People just want me to hold their hand and lead them through. I can't do that for you, man. All I can do is just tell you what's real. Mark chapter 5, verse 9 through 10. And he was asking him, what is your name? And he said to him, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he began to implore him not to send him out of the country. You see, when Christ, like I said in those last videos, when people shaking on the ground, they black, this and that, that's not the Holy Spirit. See, when the Lord convicted me through scriptures and through things that he showed me, I fell on my face. If you look at the prophets of the Bible and people of the Bible, when they are convicted by something, they fall on their face in prayer. They don't fall back and make a show. That's the Kundalini, man. We're not dealing with that. But he said we are many. That's why people say, oh, I got demons. Oh, man, I just got demons. Or he got demons. She got... That's not nothing cute, man. And that's not nothing fake either. So when people saying that, like, oh, I did that, but I got demons. That's nothing to argue about. Or I'm fighting demons. I hear people say that all the time, and I don't think they lying. Give you another story. Before I made this video, I actually divulged some of this to my wife, and I told her, I was like, you know, this stuff is real. These things, these demons, these people being possessed, this stuff is real. This is not no falsehood. This is not no falsivity. These things actually exist. And I was just showing her different things online and different things I had seen and things in my life. And she was like, yeah, I believe you. And she did. But that very next day, she went to work, and one of her people she works with walked up to her a few times. And there's people all around her, everywhere. And she was just doing her thing. Walked up to her and said, I am Lucifer. And she told him, no, you're not. No, you're not. Go sit down. You all right. You don't believe in that. You believe in God. And the guy's like, yeah, I do. Okay. And then he got back up and said the same thing. The day after I told him. And as far as I know, he hasn't did it since. The Lord is real, man. What I'm telling y'all is real. If you don't accept it, it's on you, man. The blood is off of my hands. I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. This ain't gonna be on CNN, man. Y'all keep waiting for the government. It's not gonna be on there, man. You lucky they even letting me do this now. By the argument, not even them, the Lord, okay? Because he let me do this. But in high school also, it's another story. At my dad's house, I met a magician at the park. We was just, you know, hooping. I was a hooper. Yeah, I was a hooper, and there really wasn't nobody there. I was kind of shooting around by myself. Maybe, I don't think anybody was there. Some kids was there. There wasn't no other body, you know, no other bodies out there on the court. I couldn't even run no one-on-one. So, but this dude, this white dude was there, and he was kind of like, I guess I was sitting down, just taking a little break, and he just came up to me, started talking. He's like, "Hey, what school you go to?" You know, like I say, I'm from, you know what I'm saying, I'm from the South Side. I understand, you know, hey, I'm only gonna conversate with you to a certain point if I conversate with you. But I was like, all right, man, I've seen him outside a couple times. Let me get some of his information. He asked me, okay. And he's like, yeah, well, I can do a couple things myself, you know, as far as, you know, I know you can shoot and this and that, but I can do some things. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, well, you know, I got a couple hobbies. And he's like, I do magic. And I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. Like I said, this is before the Macy's job. I'm in high school at this time. And he did one trick. He was like, all right, you see this? And he held his hands out just like this. He took his left index finger and pulled it off right at the knuckle. Right at the knuckle. He just pulled it off and showed it to me. And people, you know, I showed a couple people and they're like, oh, yeah, this, that, until I show them these clips I'm about to show y'all. But he pulled his finger off at the knuckle. So imagine you just pull it off as if there's like he just, and like it stopped right there. All this came off, and I looked in, and you could see pink, you could see the bone, and he had his hand, and I just did just like this. I went. There was no blood. It didn't look like he had surgery. I mean, and there was no. You know, people say, oh, well, it might have been like a surgery, a fake finger, this and that, but I didn't see. You know how you see somebody with a prosthetic? You can see the difference. You can see the little snaps, something in there. Nothing. And he showed it to me. He showed me the other side. I mean, it just looked like I said, it's like I'm talking to you right now. It's like he just took it off. And I'm just like, that's what got my attention. I didn't believe him until he did that. Then, this is the second part. He put it back on. So after he let me look at it. He put it back on. He started moving it just like I moved my finger. I never seen no prosthetic hand, leg, nothing do that. You can tell it's fake. As good as they doing these little things in the laboratory, I seen some prosthetic legs. They doing some. Still don't look close to what he had. So I don't think it was that. And again, I just got a weird feeling. Like it's like I can feel it. Like I was just like, how'd you do that? Like a weird feeling. And he just started laughing and laughing. He just walked away. Never seen him again. And that just kind of stuck with me. Like, man, how did he do that? And I just kept thinking the ways, just like y'all thinking. I was thinking like, man, it had to be some way he did it. He did it. The power of Satan, man. That's what he used. Straight up. People are headed to complete destruction, man. And that's something else the Lord showed me now. This I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show you in real time. This is something, I have it right here. I'm going to show you. The Lord actually brought something to me in a vision. And when I say the vision, it's actually three different visions. One was the picture I'm about to show y'all that he had me draw. Now I used to tag back in the day as far as graffiti art. I haven't did that in years. And I draw with my my pencil, and I do a little graphic art. But as far as painting like a canvas, never did that before. Never did that before. But he had me paint a picture. I never painted this. So right now you're gonna see the first picture I ever painted, and the last one I painted. I haven't painted one since. I mean, I probably plan to paint some more, but I'm kind of like, I'm stuck on this one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm stuck. But what happened was I closed my eyes, and the vision I seen, he told me to paint it. And I mean, just like a blink, like 1, 2, and boom, paint it. And I went to the Hobby Lobby, I got me a canvas, and I got me some paint. I got just enough paints. It's crazy, I got just enough paint, just enough colors I needed, because after I did it, I ran out. So I'm saying I gotta go back and get some more and do all that. But this painting will never leave my imagination, never leave me ever. But this is why I say Planet X is a hoax, and it's a false kingdom. The Anunnaki, the Nephilim, it's all a NASA cover-up, okay? it's gonna be wild. But let me show y'all this, and then we're gonna get into it. Okay. First of all, before I show you this painting, I want to let you know that many will fall in this day. Many. It's gonna be complete destruction. Chapter 3, verse 2, 2 Timothy. But realize this, that in the last days difficult times will come. For men will be lovers of selfies, lovers of money, boastful, arrogant, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, unloving, irreconcilable, malicious gossips, without self-control, brutal, haters of good, haters of good, treacherous, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, holding on to a form of godliness, although they have denied its power. Avoid such as these, for out of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of truth. They never come to the knowledge of truth. They may be ever learning, but they never come to this knowledge of truth. Okay? Leading captive silly women away. Like I said, these sisters I see that's sitting here and chasing this and this vanity to try to get some husband. If you seek the Lord first, these things will be added to you. Like I tell the brothers, you seek the Lord first, you'll find a righteous woman. I hear all the time, there ain't no righteous people. I know plenty of righteous women and plenty of righteous men. Plenty of them. But are you living righteously and doing the righteous things? Because these people I know that's righteous, a lot of them, they got somebody. That's just how it goes. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time. And as ye have heard that the Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know it's the last time. You see all these people talking about I'm Christ and I'm God and I'm this and that. It's Antichrist. Luke chapter 12, verse 56. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth. How is it that you do not discern this time? While we say it's the last time, is a plethora of things. It's not just, oh, this happened, this happened. I'm going to paint it out for you. It's a whole bunch of things going on that's not hitting the news, not hitting front pages, but it's hitting some articles and hitting some areas, but they're not putting it on the front stairs. Hosea 6:2. After 2 days he will revive us, and the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. Now, Christ died 2,000 years ago. This is the beginning of the next 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? And another thing for y'all who deny Christ, let me ask you this. Why is it? Why? That time was never changed until Christ was born. Why is it we start at 1 BC and go to 1 AD? Right around the time Christ was born. See, we can agree on most things in AD years, from 70 AD when the temple was destroyed up until 2015 this year. We can agree, we can go back and look and say, okay, this happened this year, this 1996, blah, blah, blah. We can go all the way up from the dark ages, most of us that do our history anyway. But when we get to go to BC and 600 BC and 1000 BC and 2000 BC, we get in arguments because the times was changed. Of all the times to change the time, why did they do it right around Christ's birth? They did it right on his birth. A few years actually, they threw the time off, but still, right around that time. Why? You gotta think, these people do not want you to seek the kingdom of God. The fact we even call this year 2015 shows you who's in control. The Roman Catholic Church, the false prophet, the Pope. The Romans changed that. The Romans changed all of that. All these holidays, Easter, Christmas, Halloween, I can go on and on. Lent, all of that are Roman pagan holidays that date back to the BC days, the ancient days. Okay, they're running this. So before you say this is a white man anything, this is a white man's time, okay? And by white man, I mean the Roman Catholic Church, okay? Not the white dude living down the street. He got nothing to do with this. I'm talking about I'm talking about the Vatican, baby. Okay, let's get it on. Let's get it on at the root. Okay. You think they was in 600 BC saying, oh, next year's 599 BC? No, they wasn't. We had our own calendar back then. Get your mind right, man. Why would they change the time right when Christ was born? When he was looking to kill Christ, King Herod, an Idumean. Like they killing us out in these streets right now. Why? Right at that time. And it said in 2 days he will raise his people. A day to the Lord is 1,000 years. Like I said, the Lord woke me up about 7 years ago. 2,000 years after Christ. Come on, man. Okay? Earthquakes and famines. It said there'll be earthquakes in diverse places and pestilences. Matthew 24. There's been about 45 earthquakes a day since 2014. I looked it up and counted it. 16,674 total. Sorry. So that's almost 17,000 earthquakes total. 45 a day. Ebola, measles outbreak. Remember measles in Disneyland? Ebola in Africa. Also in Africa, look up the Lassa fever, L-A-S-S-A, Lassa fever, the Marburg fever. You can check all this out on the CDC website, the Center for Disease Control. Don't take my word for it. Go take their word for it. And it's funny, these diseases like Ebola and measles and all these Lassa fevers, they went away in 1967, right around the time that the fake Europeans came back into Israel, the so-called Jewish converts. And they started appearing again in 2008 and 2009. You don't think that's by coincidence? Let's go back to these animals, though. For all my people out there that think that animals are the answer, okay? 8,000 turtle doves fell dead in Italy. And all this, you can look it up. I'm giving you fact. I'm finna not even talk to y'all no more. 8,000 turtle doves fall dead in Italy. Millions of dead fish found in Maryland and Brazil. Over 100 tons and New Zealand. That's on the Huffington Post. 2,000 birds fell in Idaho. 7,600 geese dead to avian flu. 12,000 birds dead due to avian flu in the Netherlands. Hundreds of chickens die in Indonesia. 200 tons of rock lobsters dead in South Africa. Hosea chapter 4 verse 1 through 3. Hear the word of Ahiah, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Ahiah in the land. Ahiah being the king of the universe. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out. Look at those first, look at that. You see that on every TV show. Swearing, lying, killing, stealing, and committing adultery. Not just TV shows, it manifests in our life. That's why they ask the question, does life imitate art or does art imitate life? They break out and blood touches blood. Therefore, the land shall mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Heaven meaning the sky, because there's different heavens, that's the sky. Yea, the fishes of the sea shall also be taken away. I just gave you a few. There was, I found pages. I couldn't get them all on here. It's been too long. This video's long already. 2 Timothy 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So these people out here that's evil and doing wrong, they're going to do worse and worse and worse and worse. You notice it keeps getting worse and worse out here. It's about to get even worse.
described as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. But during its height as Saint-Domingue, it was the richest place in the Americas. The thing about it, though, is that its richness was all rooted in slaves. Its wealth was based on human capital, on owning that human capital.
All day, as long as the sun is shining, the men are bending over and swaying a machete at the foot of the sugarcane.
The world as you know it disappears. Therefore, you become an animal, and you expect to live like an animal.
The dominion of the master had to be absolute, but that absoluteness itself made the master into something other than human as well.
Liberty, equality, fraternity, that was new for the world.
Toussaint Louverture is the epitome of humanity. He realized early on that the condition he was in was totally insufferable.
Toussaint Louverture recruited about 3,000 to 4,000 people, trained them, and they fought the French, the British, and the Spanish army for 12 years.
They burned the mechanisms of their production. They're burning the plantation fields, burning down the houses.
It was a wholesale massacre on a really, really enormous scale. It was a big, big, major payback time.
The Haitian Revolution is probably the most profound revolution ever realized by human beings. Profound revolution ever realized by human beings. The only place where slaves created a nation. But nobody wants to talk about it.
Égalité for all. Toussaint Louverture and the Haitian Revolution.
Christina, Brittany, and Justin have all been used in high-profile rituals. We've all watched them, and we didn't even realize it. What we noticed was Justin Timberlake at the Super Bowl bearing Janet Jackson's breast. What we're looking at there is a high-profile ritual which has the goddess and God encoded into it, because the goddess, you'll find, she is always bearing a breast. That's where our Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, the Lady Justice, always bearing the breast. Then she had a sundial nipple a nipple ring on her breast, and this is the god. The god is always symbolized by gold and by the sun. So this was a unification of the god and goddess, what they call the alchemical wedding. So these Musketeers go on, and then the next thing we find is the next high ritual, which I'll show to you.
Madonna told the LA Times that she's a very tormented person most of the time. She went on to state that she's possessed by many demons. And just what are these demons doing through Madonna? Here we see that they are promoting homosexual marriage and seeking to destroy God's plan for the family. At the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards, Madonna, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera promoted homosexual marriage. As Madonna descends from the wedding chapel as a groom, she takes Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera in a lesbian polygamous type relationship. Why was Madonna fondling and French-kissing Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera on stage before millions of their impressionable fans at the MTV Music Awards on August 28th of 2003? Madonna has acknowledged that she uses homosexual activity on stage before her fans to desensitize them. She knows that if she shows homosexual activity over and over and over again, the convictions of her audiences will be eroded. Listen to what Madonna said to a homosexual magazine. Quote, "They digest it on a lot of different levels. Some people will see it and be disgusted by it, but maybe they'll be unconsciously aroused by it. If people keep seeing it and seeing it and seeing it, eventually it's not going to be such a strange thing."
Given the extent of your programming from birth, how was it possible for you to break out of it, as you appear to have done now?
One thing that happened is that in 1989, my programmer handler died, who was Mengele. And he was in this country so much, and I was around him so much, and he had a lot of control over me. And what happens when a programmer handler dies, they usually have taught the person that they've been working with, to be very, very loyal unto death to them. And that's something that they, in the end, it works against everything, because when they die, even someone else coming in and trying to take over, a lot of these altars are not open to that and are loyal to that one person. And in my case, Baron Guy de Rothschild is the one that tried to take over. And for some number of years, there was a lot of the time, half the time they got their way, and half the time they didn't. And in major things, they did not get their way. One of the things that I went out and did in 1993 was I cut my hair off, and because I was publicly seen and known to have very, very long hair, I could no longer be seen. I could not be seen with my hair cut off short. This would have caused a lot of questions with other people that had been programmed. And they still tried to carry on with other parts where I wouldn't have to be publicly seen, because they still consider me to hold this status. And they still consider me their property. I was always told I was their property.
One question that people would ask is, given all that you know, why don't they just take you out?
They still have plans for me, and this was told to me just a few days ago by someone else who has spoken with Baron Guy de Rothschild, that they have plans for me, and they plan to try to have me back because of the psychic abilities, and that is not going to happen.
Roman is a crazy boy who lives in me. And he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage. So he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
That must be nice to have, like, an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Now, in your music, you have alter egos.
Yeah.
Who's all in there?
Well, we have Nikki, we have Roman, we have...
Huh? Explain Roman for the people that don't know Roman.
Roman is he's a gay boy. He lives... Oh, okay.
I think that's Roman right there.
Right. He's my alter ego. He says what I can't say. He's mean. He's angry and he's vicious.
Yeah, cool.
And then I have Martha. Martha is Roman's mother. Martha is like, Roman, stop it. You've gone mad, I tell you, mad. And then, your producers did speak to me, and I invented a new character for George.
And she is? Nikki, who is that?
Her name is Rosa.
Rosa!
What up?
What up, Roman?
What up?
What is the situation with Roman's revenge? Why your man Wheezy's on point too? He's mad out there.
Yo, Roman's revenge is just about taking control. Saying Roman is here to stay. And anybody that ever doubted Roman is going down in a coffin.
Boxed up, kids.
Exclude production.
Ramtha doesn't like the hair.
He gets in his face.
How much preparation now to call on your entity?
I don't call on him. It's a matter of me becoming aligned and becoming at peace and not being nervous. And once I do that...
Are you all right?
Am I all right?
Yeah. Are you nervous?
Well, I've never been on your show before.
Oh.
Oh.
See how comfortable it is?
Yes, it's fabulous. So it'll only take a moment or two.
We'll stay quiet here.
Indeed. Indeed, beloved master. You are well this day in your time?
Yes, thank you. Sit down here.
This is that which is called television.
The tube.
To capture a moment forever.
You were a little tough to wake up today. Were you sleeping when we got to you?
Wake up?
Were you sleeping?
What is slumber, entity? I am never in slumber.
Awake at all times.
At all times.
Where are you when you're not here?
Would you like to see?
No.
Why would you not want to see?
Well, it might not be the kind of place I want to hang out in, you know. I'm very happy here, my little studio, my little couch.
It is a wondrous place here, entity.
And you're my first 35,000-year-old guest.
To that which is called I, entity, be an enigma, and what is 35,000 years old?
Our anthropologists today tell us that 35 years ago, people didn't have brains like they have today. They had little, small... Through the evolution of man, the brain has evolved. So it is great to know that somebody 35,000 years ago had such good command of the language.
Master, even before my time they did so. To that which is termed, as it were indeed, your scientists, as they are termed, they have not found the great civilizations yet. They will.
Your home was Atlantis?
That was a place that which I lived, but I was a pilgrim from a land called Mu.
What is your message? What is your most important message that you want everyone on this planet to hear, to know? Is there one?
That which is termed, as it were indeed, God, which hath been misunderstood, which hath been taught to live outside of your being, is within your being. And that which is called Christ is within your being. And that which is called life is the grand experience, that it is where the kingdom of heaven is located, entity. When know you that which is termed you are God, that which emanates within you is divine, you will find joy. I do not want to deliver a message. I am that which I am. That is it why indeed which they are who listens. That which is the Christ within, it comes forward. You have lived 7.5 million years in search of paradise. It has always been within you, never outside of you.
The kingdom of heaven is within each one of us.
Indeed.
A lot of us have a difficult time finding that.
Because you are looking in others for reassurance that it is there, or someone to tell you that it is there. It is not that someone should tell you, it is something that emanates within. Joy.
Ramtha.
Indeed.
Indeed. Are we in danger of some great Holocaust?
What
Whether
mean
it
you
be
that which is called Holocaust?
nuclear, a disease? Are we in danger on this planet of any major catastrophe?
You are frightened for
No.
your people?
No.
Then why ask you the question?
For the fact that you might have the answer.
I do.
And the answer is?
That which is termed as it were indeed Holocaust. It is not war. Know you what war is? Your country prepares to do battle with another country, and they prepare to do battle for you, or with you. It shan't ever be war that will ever destroy. That is not the great Holocaust entity. it is called the war of valued life, which is called nature. Know you what that which is called nature is? Diseasements, indeed, that is already here, and yet it will grow even more vast. It is greater than any bomb that could have ever been dropped.
Spirit channelers and mediums from all walks of life claim contact with the spirit realm. The purpose of this contact, supposedly, is to teach mankind to achieve a higher state of consciousness through the knowledge they present. A classic example is J.Z. Knight, a highly successful spirit channeler who channels a spirit calling itself Ramtha. Ramtha's School of Enlightenment claims to reach some 60 cities in 26 countries around the world. In this interview, shot in 1998, Knight explains how she came in contact with her guiding spirit.
This was like an angel in my kitchen. You don't have time to react. You don't have time to rationalize this in your life. This is happening in your little kitchen. I just blurted out, "You're so beautiful. Who are you?" And he smiled. This beautiful smile lit up the whole room, and he said, "I am Ramtha the Enlightened." And I've come to help you over the ditch. And I looked back up at him, and he said, "Beloved daughter," he said, "I have come to make you a light to the world."
Equipped with a bad British accent, something that seems common among channelers, Knight gives herself over to the spirit of Ramtha.
I am Ramtha the Enlightened One. I am 35,362 1 and 37 seconds years old. I was born in that which is termed a great and marvelous place called Lemuria, and my destiny here is to teach you that which you desire to know, and to let you know that every word that I say I will manifest for you in your life.
Incredibly, throughout the interview, Ramtha and Knight repeat the central themes of the New Age movement over and over, insisting that there is no death and that man himself is a god, his only task being to realize his self-empowerment.
So I must become the teacher. I must plant in your mind outrageous concepts.
Here, Knight denies that Ramtha is a demon, but believes he was a man who has achieved divine status due to knowledge and experience.
He's not a devil. He's not a demon. He's not a guru. He's a god.
I am a teacher and a god. I'm a god because I experienced all of these things. And I am a teacher, not of truth, but of philosophy.
Ramtha insists that his teaching is simple, to get people to realize the great intelligence within themselves, and that they can do no wrong.
It's really simple. First, you have to acknowledge that you are the great intelligence that lives in you. And your body is an extension of that intelligence. And there is no good and bad in God. That's impossible.
As if echoing the voice of the serpent, Knight now directs the listener to the path of sacred knowledge.
We deserve to know the truth. And those who ask are going to be given everything, going to be given all the sacred knowledge.
We are not given but one lifetime to prove what we know. This is not a test. It is an opportunity.
Ramtha propagates the New Age lie that man has many opportunities to get it right through reincarnation and evolution.
Years ago, I would say that I'm relatively young to many of you who have been reincarnating and slowly evolving to ask the great questions, the great mysteries, to have them revealed here.
My daughter is here simply to say, you're an immortal. You are wearing this body as if you wore a garment of silk or a garment of roughly hewn wool. You are here simply to wear the garment and to live the experience, but you have never died and never will. That is not in the plan of God.
Famous actors and actresses able to be so amazingly effective and convincing in their performances.
That guy was so electrifying that it came through the television.
How is it that they can move us to laughter, tears, or anger at the drop of a hat? Are they truly gifted with natural talent, as many suggest?
You see this and you're dazzled by their talent.
Do they possess a creative streak of genius that is unknown to most men? Or unknown to most men, are they in fact possessed? Is it possible that these actors and actresses are possessed by demonic spirits who have a specific agenda to fulfill? Oscar award-winning actor Denzel Washington told 60 Minutes exactly how he brings forth his best performances.
Basically what I did was got on my knees and sort of communicated with the spirits. And when I came out, I was in charge.
Powerful scene.
Powerful scene. I couldn't have acted that. I couldn't have written that down and made a decision to play that.
What, are you going to smoke that?
Nope, you are.
Hell if I am.
Yeah, Jesus freak. Yeah, Jesus freak.
The one-woman entertainment empire known as Oprah has strong affiliations with the demonic realm. The most familiar face on television says,
"You can not only use your body and physical self. This is how I see acting. I ask my body to be the carrier for the spirits of those who have come before me in a way that is most meaningful to the character. Just become the vehicle for that character."
Calling out for these entities to take her over so that she may become a sparkling puppet, Oprah admits of her work before the camera.
I tried to empty myself and let the spirit inhabit me.
With her global influence, her shows have become a smorgasbord for the New Age agenda.
Beyonce is the hottest artist on the world stage in 2013. She followed up her lip-syncing scandal at President Barack Obama's inauguration with a spellbinding performance at the 2013 Super Bowl. During Beyonce's Super Bowl appearance, the Twitter universe lit up with people claiming that Beyonce was flashing the Illuminati or Devil's Triangle. The concern was so great that mainstream media outlets tried to explain it away as simply a reference to her husband Jay-Z's record company. Of course, this simplistic approach ignored the fact that Jay-Z and Beyonce are aware that the symbol has a layered meaning and occultic or Luciferian connotations. In fact, they are not only aware of this, but as you can see, Beyonce's husband Jay-Z promotes the occult aspect of the Eye of Horus and the triangle through his rock-aware apparel. Sadly, countless young people are wearing the Eye of Horus and have been introduced to the darkest of occult symbology through Jay-Z and his rock-aware empire. Here we see a shot of a ritual of the Order of the Temple of Astarte, a chartered Crowleyan organization which admittedly contacts demons in their rituals using the same symbol that Jay-Z, Beyonce, and so many others are using. Here we also see Satanist Anton LaVey, who wrote the Satanic Bible and started the Church of Satan, using the Eye of Horus, or the triangle symbol, in his satanic rituals. Here we see Satanist Aleister Crowley, who promoted the sacrifice of innocent children and who signed his name the Beast 666, wearing the Eye of Horus in the triangle, one of the main symbols for the Age of Horus and the coming reign of Antichrist. Crowley's favorite Antichrist maxim was, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Do what thou wilt, as opposed to doing God's will, became the backbone of Crowleyanity. Here we see Jay-Z with "Do what thou wilt" emblazoned across one of his shirts. Notice also next to Aleister Crowley is a book with a circle and a pentagram on the front cover. One of the most basic symbols used in the occult and Satanism to contact demonic beings as a sphere of receptivity to Satan and demonic forces, often resulting in demonic possession. Jay-Z, Beyonce's husband, knows what it means to be possessed by spirits, as he admits here, claiming that he is a modern-day Frank Sinatra and that he is possessed by spirits.
I feel like, Sinatra, in my time, modern-day Sinatra, so, I try to live up to that, I get possessed by the spirits. I get possessed by the spirits.
We then see appear an inverted pentagram. The inverted pentagram in Satanism often signifies the goat-headed depiction of Satan himself. And here we see Beyonce with the inverted pentagram with the goat-headed Baphomet when she introduced the spirit of Sasha Fierce, who she claimed possessed her. Here we see the goat-headed satanic Baphomet on Beyonce's ring. And here we see at Beyonce's Super Bowl appearance, one of her dancers adorned with an upside-down pentagram worked into her apparel. Beyonce, entering the circle with the inverted pentagram, appears to be her way of signaling that she's allowing the spirit named Sasha Fierce, the entity that she claimed possesses her and channels her during performances, to take control of her body. Beyonce has even worked Sasha Fierce into her wardrobe. The Daily Mail described her Super Bowl outfit as, quote, fierce and sexy, which was fitting for the entity Sasha Fierce. The man behind the design, Reuben Singer, says his creation of Beyonce was inspired by female warrior gods in Norse mythology.
Just let your hand rest on it. What do you want? Was it K? K? I? L? Kill. I don't do this shit anymore.
Did you guys move it?
No.
Are you sure?
I didn't fucking move it.
I wasn't even touching it really.
Fuck.
What's that?
Shit. Here, take this.
Don't.
Jackson!
You okay?
Jesus.
Are you okay? Oh my God! It's hard! It's hard! What's wrong? Get rid of it! It's hard! It's hard! It's hard! It's hard! It's hard! Are you okay? Oh my God, you guys! It's hard! Okay, like a little bird. It's hard. How do you get rid of it? Don't you have to say the name? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Are you okay? Come here, guys. Come on. It's hard. It's hard. Oh my God. It's hard. I'm tired. Do you need water? You want some water? Guys, can we get some water, please? Are you okay?
effect, or matches the effect of fluorescent light. If there, what did I say? I didn't move, hands in shot. It's amazing. Was there anybody there? If there's anything in this... Whoa. No. Oh, tu all'inferno vai! È di Cristo, è di Cristo, è di Cristo. Ecco l'acqua del Maligno. Ave Maria, piena di grazia, Signore è con te. Tu sei benedetta fra le donne, benedetta Santa Maria, ma libera, ma Maria, no, maligno, è Cristo più forte. Cacciale via, no. Di la verità. Di la verità a questa signora. Esiste o non esisti tu? Il demonio esiste o non esiste? Esiste il demonio! Come fai a dimostrarlo? Come fai a dimostrare che esiste? Tutto! Ma questo... Io esisto! E chi non ci crede bene? Ma questo...
Angela, I've seen previous interviews and with the police, and one of our colleagues talked to you once upon a time. You're very upfront.
Pretty much.
About talking about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes.
You tortured him.
Of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to... In court today, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well, what
proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch.
He told you.
On many occasions. But that really doesn't matter. Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me. What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill. My reason might not be good to you, but your reason wasn't good to me. So.
The incident, can you tell me anything about what happened during those 3 days while you were...
What do you mean?
No.
I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. Walked him upstairs, kicked his ass, and killed him.
Do you think that it was fair today? It was justice in that courtroom?
No, I don't.
Why?
I should have gotten the death penalty.
Did you want the death penalty?
No, I'd prefer to spend my life with my sisters, but yeah, I do believe that would have been justice.
So you deserve death penalty.
I want to tell my story.
What is your story?
I don't want nobody, you know what I'm saying, sugarcoat shit. I'm going to tell y'all what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just have it like that, sort of common. You know what I'm saying? So shit, just like a normal day. Got to go smoke my weed, you know what I'm saying? I let a couple bitches or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Me and my cousin, we hopped on the bus, you know what I'm saying? Shot the driver, whoever the fuck he was. Shit. He like, the one I shot at first, he stumbled back, you know what I'm saying? Like dropped. Got back up like he was finna run. The one I hit second, you know what I'm saying? He raised up like he was finna do something, so I shot him in the head. You know what I'm saying? Then the other one, shit, shot him twice in the head. Just make sure, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that shit. When they, you know what I'm saying? I just blanked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when that shit happened. Because, man, I ain't ever killed nobody before. You know what I'm saying? I done shot at some people before. Ain't no problem if you pull a pistol. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about no gunplay. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
You killed 2 young men now.
Better they life than mine.
Do you have any remorse? None whatsoever.
Do it look like it?
This man, Eric Minera, he was arrested for allegedly burning a Bible on the steps of the Prescott Gospel Rescue Mission. Workers at the mission near Miracle Mile and 15th Avenue said that they saw a man burning something out front late last night, and they called police. Officers say Minera was wearing long black robes and told them he was, quote, the Dark Lord, and was cursing the Christians. He was booked for unlawful symbol burning, which is a misdemeanor in Arizona.
I am Mithras. I am the Mahdi to the Shia Muslims. I am the Yeshua or Joshua to the tribe of Judah. I am the Pahana, or the true white friend to the Hopi. I am the Lucifer or morning star to the Freemasons. I have many names from many different religions, all awaiting my appearance among you. I have known the Spirit was part of me, within me. I have known the reason why I have been allowed by God to live when the neurologist predicted death for me long ago from my spinal injuries. I am here to warn humankind that the end of days is upon the world. God willing, this one will end soon, so the next one may emerge. I am here to lead God's armies. They have shown themselves across the sky openly these last 2 years. Most recently, these balls of fire have appeared over Washington, D.C. I now call out to them to please come to my aid and soon. God willing, the angels of light, the electric gin of smokeless fire will descend upon the earth. I am here to stand between you and the ultimate truth which is revealed to each of us by the reflecting God on Judgment Day. I alone have the understanding and knowing of the nature of your existence in relationship to God. I alone am to bear the burden of the truth, to stand alone. I know the loneliness of a single being upon the huge plate of the universe who can only reach out to God. I am not God nor a son of God. I am only his servant on this earth. I am also here for my own personal reasons. You can believe me or think me insane, but I must now reveal these secret, regardless of how you take the news and what you decide to do to me. I know the Christians who have been so tragically misled and misguided as to call the prophet Jesus the Son of God will think me evil, that those that blaspheme and make God's servants into gods will take their misguided beliefs to their illogical conclusion and call me Antichrist. Nothing could be further from the truth.
See how it really looks?
Sorry, David, seriously. This isn't a trick. You're just sticking a needle through your arm. How the are you... Wait, what do you mean, how are you doing it? You've stuck a needle through your arm.
It looks pretty real, right?
Sorry, I don't understand. How is that not real? What do you mean it looks pretty real? This is all glue. This is real. Sorry, this is real. That's real. That's not a trick. Oh, for sake.
If that is a trick, how is that a trick? That's real. If that is a trick, how is that a trick? That's real. That's not a trick.
He said that he like went into live in the woods for a week, like secluded himself and started worshipping the devil or worshipped something within the woods. And I don't know, he just kind of gets submitted himself or something like that for a week or a month, I'm not sure exactly. And then when he came back, his career obviously blew up, apparently. So Dynamo is, I mean, some of his tricks do seem like pretty unexplainable.
Yeah.
But I'm not the kind of guy that, you know, I'm a pretty skeptical guy. I like to question everything a lot.
I see it. Oh, nothing. Just a hole. No blood. Nothing. Just a hole.
There's not any blood on this thing either.
Nothing. Explain that one, Dr. Rubin.
You want to know what the explanation is?
Yeah.
David has no blood running through his veins. That's the explanation.
Is this part of the show? This sort of moody persona and the stare and the eyes and all that sort of thing? That's just you. The eye and the hand. And what is that? What is the eye and the hand? Let's see that again. Protection. Protection. What does that mean? Protection from death. Oh.
You're thinking of in your mind right now?
Queen of Diamonds?
The Queen of Diamonds. Watch.
Give him the American Express. What's the limit?
That's not
the
one
with
the most limit.
No?
I'll give you the one with the least limit.
Okay.
Thank
you.
All right. Is that a real credit card? It's not a real credit card. All right, but thank you for trusting me. It's a card. All right. Here we go. Do you mind if I'll stand in between you guys? Yeah?
Sure.
Let me switch
Okay.
just so you guys can see better.
All right. You're wearing my favorite colors. Stop it. Stop.
Now, I can't use any magnets. If I will, the card will be demagnetized, so no magnets. It's kind of hard to do with this card because it's maxed, but I'll try.
Stop.
Can you wiggle your finger above it?
I'm not a magician.
Stop.
Stop.
Could you open your right hand for me?
Okay. Now you're freaking me out.
With the other hand, wiggle.
That was crazy.
Wait.
That was crazy.
It gets better. Watch.
Can we do that with one of Bruce's cards? Oh.
Now wait, the freaky part is that you
that?
can do it too. Hold it right over here for me.
Okay.
On the count of 3, you're going to toss it to my hand. It's going to float back to you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Just kidding. No. I'll show you how it works. So you have to spin it fast. If you spin it fast enough, like a helicopter's propeller, it actually sucks its way up. Not really, but this is my favorite part. Watch this.
What is going on here?
Watch.
How is this even... What? Oh.
Last time. Watch.
No.
Okay, so I'm making this video to kind of talk about the whole area of sleep paralysis, and some people believe it's linked to alien abductions and you know, shadow people and things like that. And after actually last night this happened to me, which is why I started, you know, doing a bunch of reading and research and watching all these testimonials and videos today. And I originally wasn't going to make a video. I just kind of wanted to get a taste of, you know, what other people had to say and their opinions on it and things like that. And
I believe I was around the age of 13. I was sleeping on the couch and I was on my side. It usually happens when I'm on my back. I woke up and I was paralyzed, couldn't move. Same feeling like something is creeping up behind you, and it's getting closer and closer, and just your sixth sense, whatever sense you want to call it, your spiritual sense is just going crazy, like something is coming and you're trying to fight to move and you're terrified. And then I looked, I was able to move again. I snapped out of it, looked behind me, and there was nothing there at all.
Shadow beings that are in your dreams, and the majority of these shadow beings pop up in your childhood dreams, and they kind of are just there in your dreams. And these same shadow beings are making themselves known in this 3D, 4D realm in real time. So not just dream time.
And I did not tell anybody. I was 13 years old, and it happened to me sometimes after that. I never told anyone.
I just want to make this video to make you guys aware of what these shadow beings are and what they represent from my personal experiences. When I was growing up, when I was real little, when my sister was born, is when I started to remember things.
Well, last night I was sleeping by myself, and I was starting to fall asleep. I looked at the time. It was around 12:10 in the morning, and I was starting to fall asleep, and then next thing I was asleep, and then all of a sudden I started hearing this noise in my ears, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say ringing because it wasn't really a ringing. It was kind of like a womp 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 sound. I don't know. It was really weird. It just kind of reminded me of, I don't know, how some kind of machine would sound or something. It was really weird. And
so when I started to become aware I'm in this reality, when I was a child, I started having these very detailed, encrypted dreams. And I was only, let's see, maybe three or four, somewhere around there. I probably 3 or 4. I started having these very detailed, scary dreams for a child. And one of the main ones I remember I had was everything was red tinted, like the whole house itself was red tinted and very hot. And it just had this very eerie feeling to it. You know, I mean, like everybody was red themselves, their eyes were red, and it just was a very, very creepy feel to it.
I started hearing it, and so it started getting louder and louder and louder. And then the louder it got, I realized, like, okay, I need to wake up. And then once I realized that, I couldn't move, and my whole body was just frozen. I didn't feel a pressure on my body. Nothing was working. I couldn't move.
One speaks English, the one in the red. Yeah. We had a block coming up. Right. Because we knew they were on camera. A full closure? On camera. Full closure northbound. Yeah. They were trying to cross the Bravo. So as we approached, they hadn't seen us, mother. The red one's got knocked down by the red car over there. I've got an ambulance en route for it. Right. She seems alright, but I'm not a doctor. She has been knocked down.
Is she the one that speaks English or the other one?
Yes. Right. The other one, she's done a run.
Oh no! Mike Alpha, we need ambulance, senior officers to the scene. We've got 2 possible fatals.
As she ran out, he tried to grab her instinctively. Luckily for him, her jacket came off, or else he'd potentially have been in the carriageway as well. She was obviously struck by the HGV. Once the first girl had run out, the second one, for some reason, also decided she was going to run out into the traffic as well. I turned at that point to start running and try and warn vehicles behind. The last thing we wanted was vehicles further back in the backlog braking, swerving onto the hard shoulder and hitting us.
Can you look after her for me?
The initial shock was just phenomenal. You can't believe that 2 people have just done that in front of you.
It's okay, Nona, stay where you are, stay.
It's now a major incident, and we need backup, to us quick.
Oscar Tango 3-3 on arrival. Both females have ran out into the carriageway. First female has been hit by HGV in lane 2, serious injury. Second female has been hit by a small vehicle in lane 1. It's got 2 serious casualties. We're going to need air ambs of her. We're police, my love, we're here to help. It's okay, it's all right. Have you ever seen that before? Yeah, haven't they? What the hell were they running for? Come on, they're on something. It's okay. It's okay. No, stay still for me. Stay still. Right, she's got a compound fracture. What is it, right leg?
You can't be trained to witness and take on board something like that. You can be trained to then start dealing with it, but the actual shock is for a civilian, a police officer, is exactly the same. You can't believe what you've just seen.
You stay still for me. Keep your head still. Keep your head. She's very delirious. Was she like this when you were dealing with her? No, stay still. Stay still, stay still.
PC Finlayson's priority is to keep her safe until the medical teams arrive.
She is very badly injured, but her demeanour became very quickly extremely aggressive.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Mine's very aggressive, spitting at me. She is very badly injured. I don't know what's going on. Calm down.
She then started to spit at me, to claw, and literally to try and fight me, which is a bizarre situation because you've got a girl here with crushed legs who is actively trying to fight you.
Shh. No, come on, my love. Come on, you've hit your head. Calm down. We are the police. We are the police. Calm down. Yeah, and the doctor's en route. It's okay. Calm down. She appears very disorientated.
An ambulance has now arrived.
The other lady there, this lady had already been hit once. What was her condition when you spoke to her earlier? She was walking wounded.
I just wanted her checked over.
Yeah.
But I suspected they were both going to do a runner. I don't know why. As soon as the police arrived, I was going to the police, they decided to run across the motorway.
Or whether she's on something, but she's not with it at all. Ambulance is here, they're helping you. Okay. She's behind. We are helping her. I'm police. We're police. We're police.
To sustain those injuries and to be like that, I was convinced that there must have been some sort of drug or substance element to it.
Paramedics have told the cops that the woman who was run over by the lorry is in a critical condition.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
But the one hit by the car is showing signs of recovery.
Have they got collar or something they can stick on her?
Work really, she needs everything.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right, don't get going anywhere, okay? Just chill, okay?
Try to relax, just lie down again.
She's unconscious initially. I mean, you can see the damage to the vehicle, the windscreen and the roof as well. The majority of people don't survive collisions when they've had an impact like that.
I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
Right. Where's Paul? Oh, shit. Where's Paul? It was unbelievable when she started to come round and just decided that she was perfectly okay.
Where's Paul? Stay.
Oh, why do you film me?
Stay still.
Why do you film me?
Oscar Tango 33.
Oh. Fucking hell!
No!
Her strength was absolutely phenomenal. The only time I've dealt with people with similar strength are those people that have been on drugs or under the influence of alcohol.
Stay! Stay there. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, pedestrian safe.
She's looking to fight. She's in a fighting stance. I'm now confronted with a seriously deranged woman.
Relax. Calm down. They're high on something. Calm down. We're police. Police. Look. Police. Police. Yeah? Police. Grab her.
I was joined by a member of the public who happened to be a retired police officer who offered his assistance, which was gratefully accepted. We thought we'd be able to restrain her with three of us, but the strength was just phenomenal.
You all right?
Yeah,
The first police patrols at this point started to turn up. As we tried to get her over the central reservation, she went wild again.
Handcuff.
Some people were very close to being kicked full force in the face.
Well, we get her down. Get Get down, we get anchored from behind, it's not this. Down. On the face. Down, turn on the face now.
That way towards you.
Watch it, Trace, watch it.
It took 6 of us in total to restrain her.
We are the police. We are the police. No, let go.
Why do you do this? Why do you do it? Why? Why?
Roll her forwards. Over.
Roll her over.
Fuck you guys! Fuck you! Fuck off!
She's had a serious impact with the vehicle, to a point of us actually getting her resuscitated out at one point because she was unconscious and we thought she may stop breathing. And she's gone from that to the sheer strength and the unpredictability. We believed it may have been connected to a head injury, which is why we didn't go hands-on with equipment and using batons and stuff, which we could have done. We were quite aware of the fact we may cause her further injuries.
She got up off the floor, tried to grab a restrainer, tried to use his car. She turned around, twatted me, I slipped.
Are we going to stand her up rather than putting her down?
Yeah, just cross jaw. Oh, all right, it's not a problem.
Yeah, not on standing up. Right. Keep her on the side. Keep her on the side to the chest. Do we know if there's any injuries? She's got head injuries. Okay. But we need to get out. Right, just calm down. We're here to help you. Okay. We're going to try and help you, okay? Just calm down, okay?
She's been hit twice, so...
Now the woman is safely restrained, PC Finlayson updates his senior officer.
This one has then gone over the bonnet of that car. She's then got up, punch Trace and ran across there.
This one?
Yeah.
Is she under arrest at the moment?
Well, 136 if she is.
Well, she needs to be, for if nothing else, for going on the carriageway and for her own safety.
These women obviously committed an offence by being pedestrians on the motorway. She'd also assaulted Tracy, and she needed arresting for that criminal offence, assaulting the police officer and obviously being on the motorway.
Yeah, I got about the first one. What was the second one? What was about the second one? What's injuries on that?
Yeah, she's also fighting ambulance crews, having to be restrained. She appears to have a compound fracture to her leg. They were both hit at a good speed, yet they're still extremely aggressive, whatever they are on over. At the moment, both are being treated as life-threatening injuries.
Time is now running out for the woman who was hit by the lorry. With the motorway closed, the fastest way to hospital is by air. But there's a problem.
They're looking for somewhere to land. We need to land them somewhere.
The cops need to find a safe place for the air ambulance to land. PC Finlayson arranges for the less seriously injured woman to be taken to hospital by road with a police escort.
Section 3, the origin of evil spirits, witchcraft, magic, and demon possession, okay? The Haitian slave rebellion of 1791, the only one of its kind. The tribe of Levi, they used voodoo for their revolution. You see them march around the fire. That's why they had that extra strength, just like that girl on the bus I told you about when she was fighting. She had that extra strength. You know, when those martial artists do the huh and the ya and the, you know, I ain't gonna say it, but they say the names of gods as they punch. A lot of people don't know that. They're not just out there just yelling, but they get power from that. Madonna, demonic possession. Britney Spears was possessed. Arizona Wilder, and they all going through the same thing. Why they all shaving their heads? At some point, all of them did that. Look at Fantasia. Okay, Fantasia went crazy for a minute. They made her get it back together. They don't want to be in that life. They signed up for something that they ain't ready for. As far as the human sacrifices, things of that nature, like I say, every 40 seconds a child comes up missing. 2,300 a day, 2,300 people a day. Lil Wayne, straight demonic, man. I don't think I have to say too much about that. Straight demonic. Google his lyrics, man. I keep telling y'all, Google them lyrics. You can paint it how you want to. If you think that's of the Lord, you more lost than you think. Nicki Minaj, same thing. And Jay-Z Knight, you notice all of them, even Madonna at one point was talking in a British accent. Why do all these demonic entities have that British accent? Do you know that Europa is actually was actually a goddess with little g, a woman riding on a bull? You can see the bull on Wall Street. The woman is Europe. Okay, you gotta think about it because the World Bank is in Europe. Okay. I mean, they twist scripture just as the serpent did. You know, the lady talking about all this, you are gods, and this, they twist scripture. Christ, when he said that, he meant a whole different thing. He meant we're going to be judges. The righteous going to judge this place, man. Read Revelations. The righteous going to judge. They're going to be alongside him, of course, as king for 1,000 years in the millennium. These people are not Illuminati, man. I don't use that word, okay? These people are just puppets at high rank. The real Illuminati, the CFR, the Bilderberg, the IMF, the people at the Bohemian Grove, the Bush family, they laugh at Jay-Z's money, okay? Jay-Z ain't got no money to them. They got money. Bush took over all the poppy seeds and oil and all the... Bush is a billionaire, okay? Ain't not worried about the little millionaire Jay-Z is, okay? Even if you get 1-2 billion, they not worried about him. Or Dre. They just want them to push their message, and if they don't, then they out of there. Let Jay-Z or Dre or Lil Wayne or any of these people that seem to get so much worship from my people on BT, let one of them start talking about Christ. Or, okay, let one of them start talking about the occult in detail as I am. See how long their careers last. 1 and 2, the unclean spirits. Casper and Candyman. I remember that movie Candyman had, you know, it had, at the time that came out, I was young, I think I was like 3rd grade. People was going in the mirror trying to conjure Candyman. They thought it was funny. I didn't do that. Even back then, I knew it was something real about that. I ain't finna play with no spirits. Had cousins and all that thought it was fun, wouldn't go do it, and hey, hey, that's on you. The security footage, even at work, my manager, he is like plain water. You know, he's not no, you know, conspiracy theories. He's old school, you know, deep texting dude. He don't mess with all that stuff, but he told me one time before I never even told him about none of this. You know, it's work is work. But he told me, like, yeah, I looked at security footage at our old spot, and he's like, there's things on there I can't explain. He was like, things used to get turned on, and I would see a mist or something. He gets uncomfortable talking about it because he runs into security footage. And you've seen some of that yourself. Tell me what did that. That's Catholicism is fake with a capital F. Christ never did no exorcism. He cast them out. You sitting there playing with the demon. You dancing with Satan. All that throwing holy water, man. Cast that demon out, man, and move on. But if you're not in Christ, you can't tend with no demons. As you can see, them people going crazy. They ain't got Christ. When guys on drugs, again, they see other dimensions. You know what I'm saying? They use those drugs to see those other dimensions. That's why they say when I'm on drugs, I feel like this, I feel like that. Well, you dealing with another dimension. That's what we learned in this last section, the cutting of roots, where that came from. Okay, on part 8 and 9, as far as those thugs, the black dude and the chick from World Star, Angela, basically the word thuggy means deceivers. Okay, thugs came from the word thuggy tribe. The thugs traveled as the land posing as pilgrims. Again, Hebrews were known as pilgrims. Merchants, soldiers, and even royalty from several to several hundred. So it'd be maybe 7 or might be 100 of them, okay, or 700. Like in the days of Lot, when they surrounded the house and they said, hey, Lot, bring them angels out. We want to have our way with them. That was like a thuggy tribe, okay? They straight thugs. You look at the jail life, these gay thugs that's in there that take a manhood. You know what I'm saying? That's that thuggy tribe spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's real, man. It's real to this day. Their method of killing was strangulation or neck breaking or poisoning. They didn't believe in spilling the blood for some reason. They wore yellow flags. Like you see these gangs with bandanas. You know what I'm saying? The thuggy tribe wore yellow flags. Murder was a way of life, and they did it for the Hindu goddess Kali. Okay, now think about California. That's 2 words. Kali, the Kali goddess, fornication. Goddess fornication. Look how California is the most liberal state in America. They was the first one with gay marriage, first one with this. They elected the Terminator to be their governor, man. Like, really? You just want to be famous, man. It's just crazy. And then he's sleeping with everybody under the moon, having kids. That's only one son we know he had with the maid of that. That craziness, man. But they also transcended social barriers and they robbed victims, okay? Almost 40K dead a year Okay, it's estimated that they kill millions, you know what I'm saying? But it's say 40K a year. The Thucky tribe, look them up. They got a statue of a dude. They wore all the big chains. You see the rappers now, the big chains. So it all came from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? The false prophets in that part 10 and 11, you can see them. You can see the false prophets do to me, I'm Lucifer and I'm this and I'm Yeshua and I'm this. Man, false prophet was crazy. What was more crazy about that video when I first seen that video, the comments under it was like, man, this dude for real. This dude got some truth. This dude, he's telling you the truth about who these people are following, but he's not telling you the truth about that concerns him. He's a loon, man. He's a loon for real, man. He is nothing but a human, man. And he is a false prophet at that. Yes, the Masons do worship the morning star Lucifer. Yes, the Christians, so-called Christians, Yeshua, which is Joshua, which is not Christ. Okay? That's why they got the Caesar Borgia. It's easy to put anything in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Christians, they got to understand that man was not Christ. It's not, like I said, it's not a racial thing. You got to get to who he was. I wanted to know who he was. That's what really started a lot of this. You got to seek his face, man. And his face ain't Caesar Borgia's face. That's when you can get deceived. Because you're going to be looking for him to come back. He ain't coming back. Not like how you think. Also, that magic part. Magic gave him power over the elements. Like I said, everything's constantly moving, you know, but nothing's more constant than God. But these Satanists that are doing this magic and doing these magic shows, like I told you about the dude that pulled his finger off, they got power over the elements. I don't know how. I don't want to know how. I really don't care. I don't want nothing to do with it. And you know about the sleep paralysis thing. You got to call on Yeshua, but you got to believe to call on him. You can't just, you seen the dude running the bathroom to my Jesus. You call on demons, then you call on Jesus. No, that's not how that works. Like people say, oh, they're going to do a deathbed prayer and then go to heaven. Nah. How can you call on he who you have not believed? It don't work like that, man. Seek his face early. That's what it said. And the two crazy women that got hit by the motor car, I mean, that's self-explanatory. And they wasn't on no drugs. They would have said that. I looked at that a long time ago and looked at a few versions of it. You know, Satan does exist. He works through people. These demons exist. There's actually a documentary out there. I'm not telling you to follow that, but there's a documentary where they could go breaking down even more who these demons are. Okay, these demons basically, they can manifest. That's what that whole Ouija board thing is about. So you can think it's a game if you want to, but I'm here to tell you it's real. You know what I'm saying? Now, on to this painting. Now, again, I mind y'all, I didn't draw this from my imagination, per se, okay? I was laying back one day in the bed, waking up, you know, or going to sleep. It was early in the morning, you know, I would think I had a day off. Closed my eyes when I opened them. When I closed them, I seen a vision. When I opened them, the Lord told me to paint it. And this is exactly what I seen, exactly. Okay? Never painted a picture before in my life. Alright? I'm trying to get it in here, okay? And make sure y'all see everything. I'm gonna move it around too so you can see the whole thing, alright? Like I told you back in the day, I used to tag, you know what I'm saying? So this is actually, you know, my name. These are the noise levels. And as you can see, they're rising. You can look up videos they got in London, all over the world, especially overseas, where people are hearing strange sounds in the sky. They don't know where they're coming from. They just kind of like, you know, it could be anything. But they can't find it. Scientists can't find it. Your precious scientists and all that, they don't know. Down here, I got a gun, but you notice the gun is actually different technology. You know, they have guns, I looked up, that they can shoot you with and give you a heart attack. They got guns they can shoot you with and make you go crazy. It's called ELF, low frequency guns. Electro low frequency guns. Look up what they said about the Navy Yard shooter. They said he was actually experimented on with one of those guns, which is part of why he went crazy. I don't know how true that is, but I know for a fact they do have low frequency guns. You see this dude down here, he got his headphones on, he's kind of jamming. He's just going, you know, doing his thing. He's not really paying attention to all the madness, right? That's how I see a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying? Just, oh, I just want to jam my Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I just want to jam my Jay-Z singing about Lucifer, but Lucifer is actually Satan. You know, Kanye talking about he sold his soul to the devil. You know, I ain't gonna say the line, the crappy deal, the Happy Meal stuff. They not lying to y'all, man. Remember the god Pluto, the god of death and wealth, the son of perdition. Right here at the bottom, and this is part I seen in my vision. Now this is before the Lord showed me the full vision of this. You see the lightning coming, and it's striking this character right here, and it looks like a pile of dirt, you can see. And you know, it's kind of coming through my logo, you know, and that's also kind of interesting because that happens in my vision too, guys, coming through the logo here. Let me put it up, y'all can see it. But this is the you know, the lightning striking him, and you know, I have again, you know, this is the guy I was telling you about, and right here, this is very interesting. You see, it's a crack, but you see this crack is coming out as if the sky is splitting here. Okay, and this thing looks like it's trying to hold on, but in actuality it's coming out. It looks like some kind of worm. Remember, the worm never died in hell. But it's cracking and it's breaking up the entire scene, right? And this is the most interesting part of when I close my eyes, what I seen. This right here, it was something coming through the clouds. The sky was blood, and everything else was kind of dark and smoky, as you can see with the purple. But this thing right here was actually, you know, the so-called alien invasion, I guess you could say. I don't know what it was, but when I close my eyes, it's exactly what I seen. And you see it's knocking all these so-called planets out of the way as it's coming through. It's basically all your reality is about to be distorted. Everything you believe is about to be distorted. And that's kind of pretty much the fullness of what we have here. Oh, can't forget this part. I couldn't sleep also until I put this on. The Lord would not he would not let me rest. Well, I, you know, rested, but he wouldn't let me chill. I just kept looking at it until I put this on. This was my camp that I deal with, SDA, which is not Seventh-day Adventist, okay? It's South Dementia affiliation. I'm from the South. So the dimension that I see is things from the South, you know what I'm saying? If I go anywhere, my base is the South. It's like if you from India, or if you from Africa, or if you from the Middle East, and you come out here and see how we do things, or you go somewhere else, you go to Canada, let's say you get those 3 people I just mentioned, they could take them to Canada, they're going to see how the Canadians do it, the Canadians do it, and relate that to how they do it in their own area or country. So basically that's all that is, just saying South dimension. I see things from the dimension of the South, and I'm affiliated with my family. It's actually SDAF, South Dimension Affiliation Family, because I have people that ain't from the South that's affiliated that I deal with, and we a mob, you know, up there. And he wouldn't let me stop until I rest, until I put this cross on here. Now I told you I don't deal with symbols, but like you see my, of course, I'm telling you, I do have, you know, in my days, you know, the cross on me. Yes, I do. I carry the cross. Christ said to take up the cross. He didn't mean take up the symbol and worship it, you know what I'm saying? But he meant take up the cross as far as either take up the cross and deal with it as far as walk his way. I mean, you gotta live Christ-like. It ain't Christ consciousness. If you live like Christ lived, all these things will be added to you. So it showed Christ, and he's lifting me and my family out of the picture. So once I did that, it stopped bothering me. And if you're wondering why I felt, oh, what you mean you can't sleep, couldn't sleep, you couldn't rest? It wasn't like I was tossing and turning, but imagine if you pull up to somebody in they hood, and you get out your car, you leave your windows down, you leave that little light at the top on, and you go in their house and you chill for an hour and 30 minutes. That feeling like, man, I gotta go out there and check that's how I felt, you know what I'm saying, more or less. I just felt like I had to do that. And once I did it, I just felt calm, you know what I'm saying, I just felt cool. But that's basically what I felt, man, the vision, to get into the vision. You know, I was in prayer one night, you know, just, you know, praying to the Lord just to, you know, show me, you know, how I was gonna get through this and expose everything. I didn't think I was gonna be one to be doing this though. I wasn't saying, oh Lord, I want to do videos. This was, mind you, that painting is about 2 years old, so I'm actually 2 years late giving you this information. It took me a while. That's why I say everybody in James chapter 3, everybody ain't called to be a teacher. He only called a few of us to be a teacher. So a lot of these false prophets out here that's just kind of going off their vain philosophies, ain't reading, watch out for them. That's why I say, check everything I say. No pastor gonna say that. They gonna say, oh, just trust Jesus. No, man. Where you get this information from? You know, but I went to, while I prayed and I went to sleep one night, you know, asking the Lord for, you know, just show me, you know, show me what I can, as far as exposing this, you know, and lo and behold, he gave it to me. I didn't think it'd be like he gave it to me, but you know, the next day I went to work, and you know, it was a normal day at work, you know, like I said, warehouse, you know, it gets mundane sometimes. I came home and I went to sleep, and I went to sleep around, and it's weird because, you know, like I said, at the time I was staying by myself. My wife and children were still you know, abroad in you know, another city, and I went to sleep at 7, and I had my computer on, and usually if you move the mouse, if you don't move the mouse, the screensaver comes on, like I'm sure many of your computers do. So I'm in there and I'm just, you know, I go to sleep, and when I wake up, no. I go to sleep around 7, and as I go to sleep, I fall into like a deep sleep, and I wake up. Now I'm in the dream now, but in the dream I wake up. So I'm thinking this is real life because this is what happens in the dream. In the dream I wake up, go in the restroom, I brush my teeth, wash my face, you know, grab my clothes I'm going to get for the day. I earn it. I even remember the jeans. I remember the shirt. It was I don't have it anymore. I think I donated it. But it was a shirt that had blue stripes. I had a white stripe, blue stripe, white stripe, and my jeans were, I think I can't remember, but some dark denim blue jeans. I earned them. I remember looking at the seams. This is how detailed this I ain't even got to the prophecy part, but I'm earning my jeans. I get dressed. I get up in my car. At the time, they were doing construction on the freeway by my house, so I had to actually go south on the freeway and like actually go underneath the freeway, drive south, and go get the next exit, because this is like the last exit before the freeway turns off. So I had to go back another exit to go forward. So I went back, you know, I went forward, and I'm driving on the freeway, and I'm just, you know, I do make the U-turn. And I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, traffic kind of light today, cool, you know, because usually, you know, around that time, it's more cars on the road, wasn't that many cars. So I'm like, cool, so I'm just driving, and all of a sudden, you know, there's areas around here where there's a lot of planes flying, helicopters, so it ain't no thing to see no helicopter plane in the sky. I'm not going, oh man, you know, but I seen a light in the sky, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just driving. I'm thinking, okay, that's just, you know, one of them helicopters, a plane, maybe they're just flying around, you know, maybe that might be the, you know, the news chopper or whatever. But this light was big, and it was emanating. It wasn't like a light as far as like a light on the helicopter or a plane. This was a light, a bright light. It was just giving off a crazy energy. So I'm just driving like, okay, cool, you know, whatever. Kind of not really paying that much attention to it, but I drove under one of the underpasses. As I drive under the underpass, it gets closer, and I'm like, man, that kind of flying real close to the freeway. Is that going down? What is that? Because there wasn't no plane or nothing, so I'm like, what is that? So, but I drive under the underpass, and it just gets closer and closer, and I'm like, man, what is that? So as I'm looking up, and I'm like, oh man, that ain't, you know, I'm looking like I'm looking in a dream. I'm like, oh man, that ain't nothing that's man-made. That's nothing that we ever seen. That's something you see, the alien or high-tech government technology, which really is one and the same government ran by Satan anyway. So I'm just like, man, what is that? So at this time, I didn't even realize it. I just started slowing up. But to my surprise, so did the cars next to me. I can tell you who was in the car. It was a car right here, I believe it was a Hispanic male and a Hispanic female in the passenger seat. It was like a white kind of Ford truck. On this side was like a Grand Prix with a white guy in it. He had on the Star Wars. He had a black Star Wars shirt on. I won't forget, and some blue jeans. And so we all kind of started slowing down. Now I kind of just noticed them slowing down, but we're all focused on this theme. So next thing I know, everybody just pretty much comes to a stop on the freeway, national interstate, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of look up, and it's coming down. As it's coming down, the shape of it was an egg, okay? But the egg, it wasn't, it was golden. If you ever seen a crochet, or my bad, a Fabergé egg, those eggs that they build in other areas where they have the sparkles around them and the different rubies and diamonds, and it's like a fancy egg that people hide stuff in or whatever, or they use as, you know, maybe your grandma or something has one or whatever. Look them up. But the Fabergé eggs, and when the egg came down, it was sparkling. It looked like it just looked amazing. I ain't gonna lie. And it was like the electricity was just running around it. It was just like it looked like a ball of energy basically, but it was egg shaped, and it was just coming down. And I'm like, man, what is that? And I was kind of lost in awe with everybody else. Then it's like a light switch went on. I was like, oh, this is it. This is the great deception that they warned about in the Bible. And as soon as as soon as I said that. Now, mind you, it's like, this is another overpass. It was like maybe about 40 to 50 feet over the overpass. And as soon as I said that, I just started floating up. I just, you know what I'm saying, just started lifting up. And as I'm lifting up, it brought me to the egg, and I was scared because I wasn't scared like that. I was like kind of nervous, like, lifting me in this thing. I don't want to be in this thing, but I passed through it, just like that lightning bolt right here on this photo. This lightning bolt kind of passes through me, and it hits this pile of dirt. It passed through me. It's like, imagine if, you know how you could blow a bubble with, you know, the little, and blow it and pop it. Now imagine if the bubble didn't pop and you can stick your finger through it and bring it back out. That's how I went through it. I went through it. And as soon as I went through it, I was like, man, this is just crazy. I never had it was a real lucid dream. Like I'm saying, I'm looking at the stitches in my clothes and I'm earning them. It's so real life. It's just crazy. I remember brushing my teeth, looking in the mirror, thinking about what I was gonna eat for lunch that day. It was that real, you know what I'm saying? And it brought me back. As soon as I went through it, it was like an angel, and I'm not sure if the angel was God. I don't know if the angel was Christ. And I'm gonna get through to it about the strength of these angels and the grace of them. It was just amazing. It's like an angel, our voice said, "I'm going to show you these things," and it brought me back. So I passed through it, and the angel said, "I'm gonna show you these things," and it brought me back. And it says, like, first I'm gonna show you these things. So it brought me back. I'm back on my feet. My door's open in the car, and people are still like, "Oh, what is that? What is that?" The whole freeway is now packed because everybody's stopping. First, everybody's kind of mad, cussing people out, and they looking and seeing, "Oh man, what is this in the sky?" You couldn't ignore it. That's the one thing about it. When I seen it come, I'm like, this ain't like these videos I'm showing you where people could debunk them, this and that. This came to Earth on a busy morning, right before rush hour traffic. I don't know if it was a Monday or what, but basically when I get back, I'm telling these people, I'm like, guys, this is the great deception they talked about in the Bible. This is great. And I don't know where it came from. I just started speaking scriptures because I remember books and certain scriptures. I just started, it's like I was speaking on a whole, I was like, this Ephesians this, and people were just like, they were doing just like this. Like, imagine holding a steak in front of your dog's nose, and I'm not calling them dogs, okay, but imagine holding a steak in front of your dog's nose and sitting over, like a freshly cooked one, and then trying to get his attention. So they was like, like, it's like it's like they knew what I was saying was true. Like most people I see when I talk to them, they know what I'm saying is true, but they can't really fully grasp what the truth is, which is Christ. They can't really grasp it. And that's just the hand of the Lord that said who will be able to see it. But I'm telling them, and the angel was like, told me kind of sternly, be quiet. They do not know. Just be quiet. If they don't know by now, they're not going to know. It's too late. So I was just like, all right, man, all right, cool. I was kind of like, I still wanted to tell them because I'm like, man, these guys is whatever. But, okay, so the egg is still descending this whole time. It descends, you know, overpass has the height on it. It's like 17 feet or 16 feet. Once it descended past, like, maybe, once it got to about 10 feet of height, it just... Now, if you wonder what that looked like, you ever seen a water balloon and just threw it and it hit the floor and that's what it looked like. But it didn't do that when it hit the ground. It did that at 10 feet in the air. It just splashed and the little electricity just went out. It was like electricity just like went out in like a puddle. And that's another thing. The guy in the Star Wars shirt, the white guy in the Star Wars shirt, at this time he was out the car and he seen that, and you know, he was like one of those dudes like, oh, Phantom of this and Darth Vader, and he ran up, and I mean, I guess he thought this was the end. And I'm not laughing like that, but it's foolishness because the Anunnaki and all that stuff, man. Hey, bro, leave it alone today. If you don't leave it alone today. You can change today, okay? But he ran up to it. He ran. And he was like, oh, man. And I was trying to stop him. But it's like the angel was kind of limiting me because I was kind of like moving slow because I was trying to hold him back. Like, man, you tripping, bro. Like, relax. But before I could even, like, my hand was like moving in slow motion. It's like he just ran by me. And he was like, yeah, man, they're here to get us and this and that. And he looked up and, like I said, the stuff was coming. And this is just coming. It's covering the earth. Now, another thing I want to bring up is once this thing hit, and came like within, I would say, 30 feet of the atmosphere, but right before it splashed, it's like a coldness hit the earth. Like the whole earth, when God says he removes his grace, I felt that. When he said they will no longer endure sound doctrine, there's a drought on his word, I felt that. Because nobody would listen, nobody could know. It came as you wasn't ready for it. Early in the morning, just as the sun was about to come, it was still kind of dark, right? You know, that kind of period of time. And the dude ran up, he's like, yeah, man, yeah. And one of the electricities hit him in his head. And that's why I want to bring this back up. Because like I said, I drew this picture way before all this happened. I didn't know. But just like that, man, brothers and sisters, that man went bat Looney Tune crazy. Real talk. I mean, he hit the ground. He started convulsing. Like how you see them people get the Kundalini spirit. I'm glad I did that. Because go back and look at that video. He started shaking, he started convulsing, he was throwing up, he was scratching himself, he was screaming, it was snot everywhere, he was crying, he was just, it's like basically, oh man, I mean anything mad, crazy you could imagine. It's like he went Looney Tune star crazy. He laid himself up against the median. You know, the median, you know, people crash and they hit the median to be the tire marks. He lays himself up against that, and you know, there's dirt and broken glass. He's just rolling around in it like it's his bed. And while he's rolling around, the glass and the wood and all the stuff from wrecks that get swept on the side was just cutting this man's face up. This man was just losing it. And I look at the Hispanic couple on the left, and the dude's just like, the dude like this. His eye, I mean, I'm laughing. But the dude's eyes was like dinner plates, man. It's like he was like man, bro, like it was madness. He didn't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And his girl couldn't handle it. You can tell she's one of those, oh, I just want my nails to be pretty. When she seen that, oh man, she started freaking out. She's like, what's wrong with them? And at this time I tried to talk to him again. It's like the angel told me again, nicely, be quiet. I was like, all right, cool. At that time, I was like, all right, cool, because this is something I ain't never seen before. So the stuff is spreading, and once they see what happened to him, I guess it touched the Hispanic dude. Like I said, I was looking at his girl. His girl was like going crazy, and the Hispanic dude, I guess it touched him, and it's like he just started going through his glove compartment. It's like I can see his mind. He was looking for a knife. He was looking to kill himself. And that scripture says they will seek death, but death will flee from thee. He was looking for anything. He was looking for a screwdriver. I could see it in his mind what he was looking for. He was looking for a screwdriver, a knife, a blade, anything sharp. He was ready to take himself out. And this girl was fighting with him like, stop, stop. You know, don't do that. And at the same time, she's going crazy and she's yelling. She's mad at him like as if it's his fault this thing came down. So they fighting, they going at it. And at that point, he's looking around. He's looking to jump off. And there wasn't no overpass kind of freeway. We were still on the ground. So he's about to jump off. And it's like he was just looking for somebody to kill him or kill somebody, and everybody, all the cars that was behind us, all the people, you just heard the most horrible screams. You heard people running in panic. I seen people leave their children. I seen a child get left in traffic. The parents, just like them two was fighting, and I don't know if the mom threw the dad over the ledge or the dad threw the mom, but they both went over the other ledge, where I said like where the dude with the Star Wars shirt was. They went over the ledge fighting, and they ran off, and the dad was trying to run after the mom, trying to reason, and he's trying to reason and look around. He's trying to, like I said, all your vain philosophies, all this, oh, I am God, nature is God, all that was out the window. I didn't see none of that. I didn't see none of that. So that's why I say y'all can keep that if y'all want to. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. That went down, man. And the kid, God bless the children, he was just holding, I guess, some, like a boy, holding some kind of stuffed animal. I don't know if it was a stuffed rabbit, and he was just looking around like he was just scared. He didn't know whether to run. He was just still. And I didn't even want to see what's going to happen to him. I ain't going to lie. It was like, this dream broke me up, man. This dream broke me up, especially after the next dream. So, because he gave me two. But the kid was just standing there with his bunny, and he was just looking around. He didn't know what to do. The kid was just standing there with his bunny. He ain't know what to do. So I was just like, I kind of just looked away, because it was some people trying to kill themselves, and it was crazy, because they was cutting themselves. They were just, I seen people punching themselves. Like, if you ever seen like a mental ward or anything where people just going crazy, you gotta times 1,000, okay? And part two, I want to tell you about this part. When that egg fell and hit that area, when I looked up again, it was one for every zip code. It's like I could see it. Like the Lord was giving me like some kind of peripheral panoramic vision. I could see every zip code was going through the same thing. So when, you remember that footage of 9/11 when people were running and the building was falling? Imagine that on every block in New York. And every block in your city, and every block in the next city, and every block in the... That's what it was. It wasn't no escape. There was no escape. There was no escape. None. There was no knowledge that you can kick. There was no none of that. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking around at this madness, and it's like I'm kind of it's like I wanted to turn my eyes away. You know, I was just, at this point, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little scared, man. You know what I'm saying? So what the angel did, I don't know how he did it. I didn't start the car, I didn't get in the car, but it's like he picked me up so gently, man. And he placed me in the car, and like I tell you, seatbelt and all that, helmet that you people be wearing, and even the NASCAR people when they strapped in, that could not mess with the safety I felt that day in the car with that angel. It's like he had his wings around. It's like I felt so secure. It's like that feeling that, imagine a baby, you know, sleeping on their mother's chest with their father also holding them. It's like I feel so secure. And he put me back in the car. And at this point, he was talking to me. I was scared to look. He's like, now I'm gonna show you this. And people keep asking me when I tell them this. I haven't told too many people, because I asked the Lord, who should I tell this to once it was over? He said, who's gonna listen? Most people ain't gonna listen. But he told me, he was like, the angel was like, I'm gonna show you these things next. So I was like, all right, cool, okay. I ain't want to look at him. I was scared, because I was like, man, in my next, I know I sinned. I know I deserve the worst, you know. Even today, you know, in prayer, you know, the Lord put this on me to do. I didn't want to. I was like kind of like Jonah, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't. This is 2 years old. 2 years old, man. But I was just like, he put me in the car, and we went up on the freeway when we hit an exit ramp. And when we hit this exit ramp, you know how the one of the exit ramps you hit, and it takes you up on like a one lane, and it takes you down to another, you know, to an exit. He took me up on this exit ramp, and I looked over and I just seen the destruction. It was like the buildings that were still standing were being ravaged. It was being broken into. It was basically like it was about to be destroyed because there was still things coming down. And as we exited, we came around and we came to my old job. I used to work at Sears. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Not all Sears, but the job I worked at, and we're gonna get into another video exactly what happened there, because it was discrimination against me, not so much for being black or you know, as they call African American, which I know I'm a Hebrew, but I was discriminated on because of Christ. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. I think that might be why he brought me there too. At this point, I was quiet, because like I said, I was trying to talk to them people on the freeway. He told me to be quiet, and he told me sternly. You know what I'm saying? And that power he had, I wasn't trying to feel none of it. I wanted to be good as I can be. You know what I'm saying? My best behavior, as you say. So we went through, and I seen Sears, and I'm like, man, bring me back to my old job for. I'm thinking in my head, but I'm like, you know what? As soon as I thought that, I rebuked it. I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm just going to sit here. I'm with him, you know, and I'm just going to relax because I don't know what's going on. And in the Sears, there were gigantic TVs, man, about as big as your house, man. They were just trying to do a sale on these extra large TVs. And the employees, like I said, that's one of the few buildings that was still standing. The employees, I guess they were in the back having a meeting, because we used to have meetings there. And when they came out to, you know, open the store, open the doors, get everything started, they kind of looked outside, you know, seeing all that crazy. It kind of looked outside and seen all that craziness that was going on, and it was like, I ain't going. I ain't opening the door today. They went to the back, and they was kind of thinking in their head, what's the next move? Like I said, there is no knowledge higher than the Most High. There's no knowledge greater than his, okay? Period. So that while they're trying to decide what to do, oh boy, I guess I can see the employees, like a dude and a girl. They just went to the back, and I could see through the wall. I could see them in there stressing, and he's telling her this, and she's trying to make sense of it, and he's like, nah, I know that, but and they're both trying to. It's like they're juggling, you know. And on the TV, this is the most interesting part on TV. All the leaders of the world were on there talking. You had Obama, you had the president of Iran was on there, the president of China was on there, Putin was on there. You had every leader that you can think of was on there, and it's funny. All the leaders looked like they just got through, like, leaving a hippie festival. All their eyes was like this, and they were lean all the way back. Like I said, I used to sit on plenty. I know how people look when they twisted and they messed up. They all looked like, and they were just like, and they all said the same thing. We just want everybody to remain calm in these days. You know how Obama be, you know, he talking that smooth boy. Yeah, we just want everybody to be calm in these days and don't worry about it. We're safe and we're gonna be all right, and we're gonna keep this country going. People were like, keep the country going. Man, we out here dying. Like, what you mean? You need to send an Army, Air Force, something, Navy. You know what I'm saying? Obama just like, and all of them were saying the same thing. All the world leaders, when it says when Christ comes back, he's not gonna find one world leader on his side. So all y'all pushing for Clinton, Hillary, and Governor Christie, and Rand Paul, man, you wasting time. Cause you tell me somebody that graduated from an electoral college, and I'll send you a G, straight up. And that's not on no bragging. You show me somebody that graduated from an electoral college. Send me that information. Because we not picking no presidents. They picking them, okay? They been picking them. We only had the illusion of choice. But anyway, I mean, they were just all lean back, and they were just all cool, and people was just in the parking lot, like in awe, like if you could see the jaws on the ground, you know what I'm saying? And it was the dude out there, and he kind of reminds me of some of these cats I meet online, that they know it's a spirituality. They know that God is a force. They know that God exists, but like they want to stick with the Big Bang. They want to stick with science because these guys in the white lab coat told them that this is true. Instead of searching for themselves, see that these guys are paid to lie to you. And he had on the like I said, he had on the green suit. He had like a brown, I guess, undersuit. I mean, the suit was kind of nice, but it was torn. Like, it was torn on the shoulder. It was torn. It was dirty. It looked like he just came out of a fight like he just got jumped. And he knew the truth, but he didn't come into it. And he was just yelling at the people in the parking lot. And you know how much people love anger and fighting? Well, nobody fighting with this man. He was just like, man, I told you. Da, 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 da. He's going off on the government. He was going off on this. He's going off on that. And everybody in the crowd, everybody, man, women, and child, was just shamefaced. They just all put their head down. You know what I'm saying? They all just kind of like, man, he's right. We sat here, we trusted in government. We sat here, we trusted in these scientists. We sat here, we trusted CNN and NBC and ABC and all these media devils out here. And what happened was, they wasn't there for you in that day of destruction. Nobody gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be real with you. Nobody but Christ if you have him. So I looked around one more time. I just seen the madness, and I just closed my eyes because it's like I just wanted to cry. I didn't want to see anything else. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see no kid get hurt. I didn't want to, you know, I was seeing women getting snatched up. You know what I'm saying? It was like people was like, oh well, basically like a riot on the 1,000th level, because they seen the rioting, and they was basically like, well, the world's going down, I'm gonna rape as many girls as I can. The world's going down, I'm gonna kill as many people as I can. The world's going down, I'm gonna burn them. It was like anarchy. When you see those one movie that, and the movies don't even touch what I seen. This shook my whole body up. When one of the movies that kind of shows Predator 2 in the beginning, when it shows the gangs fighting against the cops and the streets are just ravaged. But that's to be honest with you, that's child's play compared to what I seen. Even Armageddon, that's child's play. Hollywood can't make what I seen, for real. But that was the first dream, and what was crazy, like I said, if you don't move my mouse for 30 minutes, I set the thing to screensaver. I woke up and I looked over at the laptop, and it was 9 o'clock on the dot. I set my alarm every morning. To this day, I never wake up like that on the dot. Go to sleep on the dot and wake up. I went to bed at 7. I woke up at 9. Okay, that was the first night. So I was like kind of shook, like, man, what was that? Man. And I was just kind of, like my whole body, it was lucid. Some people like to say, oh, that was an astral projection dream. Okay, if you want to call it that, you can call it that. I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that to me, you know what I'm saying? It was the Lord taking me up in the spirit, showing me these things. That's what that was. The next night, okay, because I was like, okay, well, maybe if there's any truth to that, or if anything is real about that, the Lord is going to show me, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to, I'm not a person to go off of dreams. I was in this one group trying to show my videos and show this stuff, and every dream they had, well, I had a dream about this, well, I had a dream. You gotta understand, our mind is like a computer. We take in so much information, you know what I'm saying? You can dream about anything. Like I had a cousin that used to have dreams. I used to tell him, like, bro, like you can dream about anything. If you know it's from the Lord gonna confirm it. You know what I'm saying? But they just go over dream after dream after dream after dream after dream. It said he that chases dreams like he that chases the wind. You ever gonna catch the wind? I don't think so, brother. So don't be out there chasing all these dreams. If it's from the Lord, pray on it. He gonna show it to you. If it's real, if it's not, if it ain't, keep it in prayer, keep it moving, and go on by what you're doing. So the second night, you know, again, I come home, I'm like, okay, you know, I wasn't even too much thinking about last night, but, you know, kind of, sort of, but it was just so out the ordinary. Like, I could feel the wind on when the angel picked me up, I can feel the wind, like, in my shirt. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, like a regular dream where you just wake up, you lay in the bed. Like, I really felt like I was there. So the second night I went to bed, the second night I came home, and again, it's like I was so tired. Like, I don't know what it was, like 6:30, I think I walked in the kitchen. I didn't even want to make me nothing to eat. I was so tired. I just went down in the room. I got on the computer for a minute, and like around 6, last time I looked at the clock, it was like 6:30. You know, next thing I know, I was watching a few videos, doing a few things, and I just dozed off. 7 o'clock again, right? So this time I go to sleep, I'm in a deep sleep, and I mean, I'm sleeping hard. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gone, you know, and once again, I go to bed early. I don't never go to bed that early. Like, to really talk, since then, I ain't been to bed that early, unless I'm sick or something. But all praise to the Most High, man. He put it on me. I I woke up. When I woke up, I opened my eyes, and like I was in like a dark room, like just like I felt it though. I was in like a room like you seen those, if you ever seen a doctor doing surgery for the class, and it's like a dome, like they have the circle in the middle, and they got the seats on the outside. The doctor's doing surgery, and everybody is kind of looking around, and there was a skybox, okay, and there was a skybox on one side, kind of like behind me over here, and there was a screen in front of me, okay. So what happened was, you know, I kind of woke up, and I was like, man, I felt drugged. And the only, when women say when they get with the guy at the bar and they're talking, the guy sticks a date rape drug in their drink, and they just feel groggy, like they know what's going on, but it's like they can't fight him off. They can't, you know, do what they need to do to get out that situation. That's how I felt. Like I felt groggy, like I didn't feel my strength, and I can feel 3 doctors around my head. I'm laying out on like a concrete slab. It's like a cold concrete slab. I feel 3 doctors around me on my head, and they're all speaking some language I can't really put into words, but it sounded like, if I had to put a text on it, it sounded like a mix of like a mixture of German, Yiddish, and like some kind of, I mean, I can't think of a word, but like Star Wars kind of space. You know how them creatures talk and they're kind of clicks and growls. It wasn't like, I'm not talking about African speech. I'm not talking about that, but it was like a distant world kind of speech. It was something of not of this world. You know what I'm saying? But it was all mixed up in one, like all those 3 mixed up in one. And I was made to know what they were saying, and I'm on the table, and they're like, okay, we're about to engage the subject. I remember that, and he had this thing, that thing that you use to light the barbecue, that long lighter. He had something like that, but it was something on the end. I don't know what it was, but I can see it, and he stuck it right here in my head as I'm laying back on the slab, and the scientist stuck it in, and when he stuck it in, oh man, the pain radiated through my whole head, through my whole body. And whenever he did that, it was just like, man, it just hurt. I screamed out. I wanted to fight him. Again, I wanted to get up and swing. You know how we are. We like to, but we battle not against flesh and blood. Yes, we're supposed to protect ourselves, but this wasn't that kind of a, this wasn't what, you know, the good Lord was showing me right now. It wasn't about that. It was about showing me what they're planning to do. Okay? So I felt it shoved into my head. My whole body just hurt, you know what I'm saying? Especially my head, man. My head, oh man. When I tell y'all, my head felt like it happened in real life. Cause I was still up. And when he shoved it in there, it was something in there reading my thoughts. Whatever he put in my brain, or whatever on the tip of that thing, and then now I know what it was. It's the RFID chip. He put it, whenever he put it in, it showed my thoughts on that screen. But what was crazy about it, it didn't show it as text, like you type in a text. It showed it like if you went to open up a paint and try to write cursive with a marker or a pencil, and that kind of, you know, real primitive looking, you know what I'm saying? But I just kept crying, Lord, Lord, help me, Lord, Lord. And as I'm saying that in my head, I'm kind of looking at it, because I'm kind of out of it, but the screen is going Lord, and it's writing Lord in cursive. And whatever's writing it looked like a fly, like the cursor was a fly. Beelzebub, man, that's Satan, man. Lord of the Flies, man, that's another name for Satan. And the flies writing Lord, Lord. And the guys in the skybox, the guys who were running everything, I heard them talk to each other, and the main dude was like, why do they keep saying that? Why do they keep crying out for that? What is that? Okay, whatever. Like, you know, and they were kind of arguing, talking amongst each other, and at that point, I woke up, and this is probably like the scariest part. When I woke up, I don't care if y'all believe this or not, when I woke up, I still heard the voices, just like I said with the psychic. I still heard the voices, you know what I'm saying? And the voices was, man, I mean, it's like they was speaking English, because now I can really understand them. And it was like they were arguing, and then once I woke up, they were like, he's up, he's up. I'm like, what what's going on? So I'm looking around, check it out. I look at the computer. Once again, the screensaver is supposed to be on. I'm supposed to go into standby mode. 9 o'clock on the dot. 9 is the number of completion. 7 is the number of God. God has 7 spirits. I already told you that in the beginning of this video. 7 spirits of God. You understand? When Jesus, which y'all call Jesus, when Christ was on the cross, he had 7 utterances from the cross. Okay? This is all biblical. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to break this down. Then I had 2 dreams, 2 different nights. 2 is also a biblical number, good and bad. The first dream was good, the second one was bad. We pick what side we gonna choose. People keep saying this, and that. God works with balance, okay? He gives you a choice. That's why I'm here right now by his grace. You either gonna pick the right path or you gonna pick the left path. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no in between. If you lukewarm, he gonna spew you out of his mouth, man. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all gotta get right, man. So I woke up, I'm hearing these voices. Now I slept, like I said, my wife wasn't here with me at the time. We was working that out, going through some things, and I used to sleep with my pistol on the side of me, and I just looked around. I kept hearing these voices, so I'm looking around, and they're like, he's up, and they start arguing, and I looked at the pistol, and they're like, yeah, do it, yeah, do it. I'm like, man, do what? They're like, man, do it. I'm like, man, do what, man? What you mean do it? I'm not finna do what? What you want me to do? Do what? And it's like, do it. So, I took that, and I just started walking around the house, man. Like, again, because I'm thinking, I'm still sleeping. You know how you think you sleep? I'm still sleeping. People say, oh, yeah, you must have been having a dream. No, I was up then, brother. I'm walking around the house. I'm just like, man, what are these voices? And they're like, man, just do it. Like, oh, he ain't gonna do it. He's scared. I knew he ain't have it in him. He ain't got it in him. He ain't gonna do it. He's scared, this and that. And they started basically clowning me. And I just walked back and forth. And people would be like, oh, why ain't you just do this? Why ain't you? You gotta understand, when that came upon me, I didn't know what to do. It's easy to be on the outside looking in or after the fact say, oh, this and that. But when you're going through it and it happens to you, it ain't no easy, quick answer. You know what I'm saying? To understand all of this. Even through all, like I said, this is 2 years old, I'm giving this to you. And I was just like, man, what's going on? So what happened next is, all praise to the Most High, the demons left. They finally just left. And at that time, I'm sitting in my room, I'm crying, y'all. I'm crying. I only cry at like two funerals in my life, I've been to. I cried, and that's the only time I can say I really remember crying, like crying. And I was crying, man. Tears was coming down my face. I was just in there, just going through it. My whole body was shaking. I was just like, most people, I think, and would probably have committed suicide. Because that was a thought on my mind, like, should I have did what they said? Like, I'm thinking, like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Like, it was too insane, man. It was too insane. I was scared to call somebody because I was scared if I called them and told them what happened, they would laugh at me. Of course, I was scared to call cops. They don't do nothing but come up to your house and shoot you anyway. I was scared to go outside because if I went outside, I thought them people was outside waiting on me. Them doctors and scientists that was just in there operating on me was going to be out there. Oh, there you go to grab them. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, just scared, man. So what I did was I finally got up the guts to call my mama. And I called my mama. She ain't really peep it at first, but I called her, and she was helping my sister with her homework. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I was like, Mama, please call me back. She's like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't tell her what happened. I just said, call me back. She's like, okay, cool. And she hung up, and I just sat there, and it's quiet again. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm scared to go outside, scared to call anybody else. I'm just scared to my wits, man. And I called my mama back, and I was like, nah, Mama, I don't care. Like, let Mo handle her, let Dad handle her. I need to talk to you. Like, please, can you please just give me a second to talk? And she can kind of hear my voice. My mama know me very well, you understand? And she heard, and she was just like, okay, cool. So she finally got off the, helping her, and we got to talking, and I basically told her about what happened with that dream I had that, on the concrete slab. And I told her I was scared. I was like, Mom, I told her straight up, I said, am I going crazy? If so, you can commit me, because I don't know what's going on. I'm scared witless. And after talking with her for a while, we just kind of chopped it up, and we just got some clarity on it, and she told me to pray on it, and she just talked to me for a while, and she actually divulged some things that happened to her. And you would be surprised, especially since this happened, how many people have came up to me and told me things that have happened to them that were supernatural that they never told. A lot of people have supernatural stories that happened to them, but we never talk about it. You look at these cave writings, all these people writing all this crazy stuff, you're thinking, oh, that's just they just crazy. Nah, man, they trying to tell you something. There's a lot of people I've been talking to, my auntie, my mom, a lot of my family. All this had manifested. For the next, I say like almost 4 months, I had what's called a cluster headache. No, a cluster headache isn't a regular headache. I have people, oh, yeah, it's like a headache. No. A cluster headache is not a migraine headache. No. A cluster headache is not an allergy headache. None of those three. A cluster headache is a headache that you can get. It can last anywhere from a day to a week to a month. It is a constant throbbing. It feels like a headband is on around your head. It actually closed my left eye partially. Okay, I tried to take some pictures. I was doing, like I said, trying to do my music thing, trying to take some pictures, and I had to throw the pictures out because my pictures, that my left eye was closed, you know what I'm saying? So it was nothing I could really do, you know what I'm saying, except for, just deal with it. It was something I just had to go through for the Lord to let me know it was him. I mean, 2 years, I haven't had one headache since that. And what happened was, it's like every weekend I knew when it would hit. I get that feeling, and boom, I mean, it was to the point I was writhing on the floor. Writhing, like just rolling. I mean, my head hurt so bad, man. I couldn't deal with it. But it was tough, and that's the only way I got through it, is through the grace of God. I was in the kitchen. I remember the last headache I got, and it was starting to go away. And I was reading up on it. Look up cluster headaches. They're the worst headache you can ever get, and scientists and doctors cannot figure out what to give for them. I took every medication under the sun. Nothing did nothing for it. I'm gonna tell you how I got healed of it. I was in the kitchen one day. It was, starting to go down, but like I said, they pop back up. So they start going down, they pop back up. And one day it was going down, and then I was in the kitchen washing dishes, and it was starting to pop back up. And I got mad. In the name of the Lord, I got mad. Not just anger of me. I was just like, Yeshua, I prayed in your name. I said, Yeshua. Yeshua also means salvation. I was saying not the Yeshua as far as Joshua, but the Yeshua as far as the noun, that version of Yeshaya. And I called, and I was just like, Yeshua, I pray in your name that these things leave me. Yeshua, I will not let. And I just did a strong prayer. And I lied to you not, I felt like a finger right here, and it went just like that over my temple. And when the finger just like that, and it left my temple, I haven't had a headache since. 2 years I haven't had a headache. This is my testimony. I haven't had a headache since. And that's just real, man. That's my vision that he gave me. And now that it's out online, I mean, y'all feel free to share this, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you like it too much or not. I mean, if you do, please do. But please share this with others. Because after 4 months of going, and I kind of skipped through that part, but 4 months of that, of a headache every day, constant. Like, I go to sleep with a headache, I wake up with a headache. I eat with a headache. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't watch no videos on YouTube. I couldn't draw. I couldn't write. I couldn't even just sit there and relax. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't get in the shower without having a headache. I couldn't do nothing. And leads you to Hebrews 12:6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, which means chastise, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. One of my good homeboys, man. You know who you are, man. Go get it, man. You know who you are. When I talked to him, he actually gave me that, not in scripture form, but he said that verbatim. He said, when the Lord loved you, when the Lord loved his son, he spanked him. Think of a father that don't spank their child, don't handle their child. Look at these kids out here now. So, and this is what I seen, okay? Revelation 16:2, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome grease of sore upon the men who had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Now, I never worship the image of the beast, never ain't gonna receive no mark. I die before I do that. And the reason why, I know what's coming with it. And I love the Lord too much to even deal with that anyway. Ezekiel 20, chapter 20, verses 37 and 38. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant, and I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they are sojourned, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know I am the Lord, Ahia. After this happened, man, I lost friends. I'm talking about friends I done had for years, and I done moved around a lot as a teen, you know, and as a growing up as a youth in the family dramas and whatnot. And all of a sudden, it's like some of my A1 boys, my A1s, day ones, would just start messing with me. They just start going off on me. They done defriended me, blocked me, cussed me, talked about me. I mean, out of nowhere, like I really mean out of nowhere, just start turning on me, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, it got to the point where I felt like I ain't had no friends, you know what I'm saying? I don't really have no friends. I got family, you know what I'm saying? If you in Christ, or you walking with me, that's why I say fam. You my fam, you know what I'm saying? You not no friend. Friends change, you know what I'm saying? But I also I asked the Lord to give me scripture, because one thing about it, I was like, Lord, I'm not gonna believe this is you until you confirm this to me in scripture. I can't just go off of a dream and this and that like the people do in these groups. I think every dream is of the Lord. So he gave me 4 different scriptures, and all of them is First Testament. Every one. He didn't give me nothing from Revelations or nothing that Christ said himself. I'm gonna show you. You're asking me how I got these scriptures. What I did was I have a Bible app on my phone. I actually hit one. That's where I got the 4th one. Cause I only asked for 3, because I was like, Lord, you can give me one scripture and it could lead to, you know, what happened. But I was like, if every scripture don't line up with my dream and what happened and what's going to happen, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna tell nobody, not even on the video, but in life. And I actually hit one on my phone and I actually picked 3. Just randomly opened the Bible, just where it land, just hit it where it land. He gave me 4 chapters. Zephaniah 3, Habakkuk 3, Malachi 4, and Esther 7. Esther 7 was the last one. Zephaniah 3, it said, woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She obeyed not the voice, she received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord. She drew not near to God. Her princes within her are roaring lions. Her judges are evening wolves. They gnaw not the bones till the marrow. Which means they're wasteful, they don't care. Her prophets are light and treacherous persons. I talked about the prophets' first video. Her priests have polluted the sanctuary. They have done violence to the law. I have cut off the nations. Their towers are desolate. I have made their streets waste, that none passes by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, that there is none inhabitant. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day I rise up to the prey. But my determination is to gather the nations, that I will assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with fire of my jealousy. Okay? For then I will turn the people to a pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one consent. You know, in my dream, I was saying, Lord, 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 Lord. Now, I did know about Yeshua as far as the Joshua, which they changed to Yeshua. That's a different name, okay? It wasn't Yasha. Look up Yasha, Hebrew strong, okay? That's Yeshaya, all right? I wasn't calling upon that name in that dream. Once I had the sleep paralysis, I did, and he brought me out of it. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. Behold, At that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out. I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And at that time I will bring you again. Even at that time I will gather you. I will make a praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes. So that was him bringing me up out of that. When he said he gonna destroy the city, how they not dealing with truth. These churches ain't dealing with truth. People ain't dealing with truth. He gonna make the streets waste. Habakkuk 3. And I'm skipping around through the verses, but these are the verses that touched. I opened up directly to these chapters, put my finger on it. O Lord, I have heard thy speech, and was afraid, O Lord. Revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known in wrath, remember mercy. You know, this is a prayer to the Lord to ask him for mercy in these times. God cometh from Teman, only one from, God cometh from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. That's where the law was given at Mount Sinai, and that's Esau's land and Mecca. So that's the Edomites and Ishmaelites, okay? He stood and measured the earth and beheld and drove asunder the nations, and everlasting mountains were scattered. His perpetual hills did bow, his ways are everlasting. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Verse 12. Thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thresh the heathen in anger. Well, he was messing them up big time. Verse 16. When I heard my belly tremble, my lips quiver at thy verse. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I tremble in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh unto the people, he will invade with his troops. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord Ahijah is my strength, and he will make my feet like hinds feet. He will make me to walk upon mine in high places, to the chief singer of my stringed instruments. Okay, so through all that, he brought me through it. When I heard my belly tremble, my lips quivered. I told y'all that angel I was scared, man. I was scared big time, you know, because he was coming over, taking over the land and messing them up. Malachi 4, this is 2 quick verses. For behold, the day cometh that they shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, Ahijah, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with the healing in his wings, angel, and ye shall go forth and grow as calves of the stall. Okay. Once again, every verse was hitting on exactly what happened. It's like I could not deny, and then he gave me 4. And it said he told the angels to hold back 4 winds of the earth. It's very interesting. I only asked for 3. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Queen Esther. Okay, Queen Esther was a Jew, Israelite, who was summoned by the king. Okay, she was his queen. Once his wife didn't obey, he divorced her and married Queen Esther. She was from the tribe of Benjamin. If you don't know who that is, that's the Jamaicans or the West Indies, okay? For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed. This is Esther talking to the king, okay, at the banquet. And Haman was the Antichrist in the government that was plotting to kill the black Israelites, just like we getting killed today. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not contravail the king's damage. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so? So he asked her, who's trying to do this to your people? And Esther said, the adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. The Haman was his right-hand man in government. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. And Haman was actually one of the grandsons of Esau. And you know, Esau is the same people that run government today. It's Esau. You understand? The so-called European converts, the Jewish, the Khazarians. Okay, look that up. He was known as the persecutor of the Jews. That's how he was described in the Jewish encyclopedia. So he's persecuting our people. You understand? Then the king returned out of his palace Then the king returned out of the palace garden unto the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed where Esther was. So Haman just, oh man, he just ran out and fell out in front of Esther on her bed, right? And then the king said, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. So he's like, oh, so you gonna push up on my woman too? You know, after all this? So they covered his face. You know what that means. When the people come in and put that a bag over your face, man, that's it. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who spoken good of the king, standeth in the house of Haman. So Haman was about to hang Mordecai. Mordecai was actually the person that was Esther's, I think her cousin or her uncle. Mordecai was actually Esther's kinfolk, who actually helped her out and warned her against these things. Okay, that's why her name was Esther, because he didn't want the king and the government to know that they were Jews. The king didn't know. Okay, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. So Haman had made a gallows to hang him on in front of his house, to hang Mordecai, Esther's, kinfolk, on the thing. Then the king said, well, hang him thereupon. So they hang Haman on the gallows where he had prepared that for Mordecai. Then the king's wrath was pacified. So the Lord was basically telling me in that he gonna handle these people in government. That's why I said we ain't gotta fight. We gotta come up out of her, my people, but as one in righteousness, and it's a way to do that, and it's a time to do that. But I'm not finna just run off and leave my people here. I'm not finna just get a couple. I'm trying to spread this message here, because this is what he asked me to do. Now, how do I know? I don't know. I stay in prayer. No man know at the hour, okay? But Christ also said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, when you see armies around everywhere, man, it might be time to go. And there really ain't no might. It's time to go. You know what I'm saying? The time is coming too. I know you see Jay Helm. Again, I told you in the beginning, the Lord said he gonna raise me up in the 11th hour. Much disinformation and misinformation. This is real. Ain't no sense of fighting over this area, man. It really ain't. We ain't been free here. We've been fighting. How much more blood got to be shed? I just like to right now thank everybody for watching. Y'all like, y'all subscribe. I know it was long. God bless you for staying to the end. But with that being said, we're gonna close out and shalom and shalom, and all praises be to the Most High. Be sure to look up these sources I gave you. And look into them for yourself. Thank you.